Alright,
Yeah.
it's not a long recap because most of it was just fighting.
Yeah, it's really not.
Sure.
Like, I have like 2 paragraphs for the notes from last session because that's basically all that was needed.
All the notes came at the very end when we learned about the that other gang.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's been several months since we last checked in on your characters from last session was after the several month period. During this time, Tilda spent her days learning Abyssal, spending time with Maggie and the orphans and Theo and Belzor and researching. Raine did a lot of poison work with Marla and took a few jobs. Bryn, majority of her time making magic items and practicing with her weapon and trying to tolerate a drunken jeweler. And yeah, Zaitari occupied herself with training with Grela, researching, and most importantly, gambling. And Onenia decided this was not the life for her, and she, with the help of a druid, went to go set up a sanctuary for refugees coming in from the north. Alright, so at this point, Alexandria had decided that it was time to test the group's old magic ability. But around this time, actually, a visitor came in the form of Nenrine, a a high elven cleric from Durenethel, who Alexandria requested to be a researcher and field agent for a a type of ancient magic that she was researching and the evils that with that magic. But before you guys could get started again on testing your abilities, Deacon ran into the courtyard, explaining that the sandcrawlers had burned the orphanage, and Deekin and Maggie had brought the children to a temple. Maggie went to go to the Broad-Laid Bear to get some answers from the Vagrant Blades about the crawlers, and Deacon was worried out of his mind. You guys rushed towards the slums, and lo and behold, partway there, you met up with Maggie, who was actually backtracking to go get the rest of you guys. She had found out where the hideout was, and you guys went there. Raine scouted out the place, got a rough number of gang members on the first floor. It was decided that the party would split into 2 groups. Bryn, Zaitari, and Nenrine would go to the front door, cause a distraction. And then Maggie, Tilda, and Raine headed towards the back to the storm door, letting the eye cage do a lot of the reconnaissance work. Unfortunately, things took a turn when one of the gang members was killed, and a servant heard it and alerted everybody. And several hours later, in real time, you guys cleared the place. Only being knocked unconscious several times.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, all this happened in, like, less than 5 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Essentially.
Yeah, that's cool.
And
then I figure we spent the rest of, like, our real time searching the house.
Yeah.
And the looting the bodies and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's definitely how that worked out.
After bringing the whole house upon you guys, and then killing them in a not very easy battle, you found a prisoner, a living prisoner, named Himaru Takahashi. He claimed to be a member of the Kurai Sasori, the Black Scorpions. And he had promised you guys that, he did want nothing to do with this house. He'd leave you alone. And in fact, maybe, Naito, the leader of the Black Scorpions, would give a generous donation once the orphanage was up and running in this house. Also, during the battle, Tilda revealed her real name, which Maggie immediately recognized. Well, the last name anyways. And there was a short talk afterwards. And during the conversation, Maggie, in an unofficial way, pledged her service to Matilda, and also gave her her signet ring and her mace called Judgment. And I believe that is where you guys left off. Yep.
Well, we
I
went to
think that
the we went to the Broad-Laid Bear and like screwed around for
Oh
a
yeah,
little bit.
you guys
Yeah.
screwed around for a while.
We turned in the head of the leader of the sand crawlers for some
Yeah.
sweet cash and free drinks. So
Did I leave before that happened?
No,
no.
because
Oh,
then you gave me
I gave you the
ring.
rings. It's rings. It's 2. It's for
Yep.
1 for you and 1 for Theo.
I know.
Okay.
That's what I said. Rings.
Okay. I didn't hear those.
Sorry.
Also,
about
I was really tired and thought I might not have explained them very well. They're supposed to be cute and romantic, but I was just like, "Here's some rings." Oh my god, I'm tired. Yep, take.
It's like, please, we've
Just
been
take 'em.
doing this for like almost a full workday.
that. Yeah.
Also, I'm assuming at some point I'm just like, Nenrine, I totally have a breastplate you can use. We're just gonna have to, and I kind of look at him. We'll have to make it smaller, but it'll be fine. You'll be good. Yeah.
That's quite all right. Most pieces of armor are adjustable thanks to the straps, and if need be, I can also adjust it myself. It's quite fine. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
And no one has mentioned my beautiful new hammer either. It's rude.
You look over and you see that your friend Bryn has, after giving you rings, there's food on a plate and her face is kind of beside it. Like there's some strawberries against her nose and she's just snoring. It's not feminine or cute. It's just passed out.
And it's very difficult for Nenrine to notice things when everyone is quite aggressively trying to get him to consume alcohol.
I think we had said we were going back up to the castle.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not that
'cause-
late. It's not really too late in the day at all.
Yeah,
it's
but
like-
Zaitari's drunkenly hitting on Nenrine.
It wasn't
just
late.
tipsy.
It was
Just
late
tipsy.
morning when we heard about the orphanage thing, right? It was like 11:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
at
it's like
least like
12:30.
maybe 2 at this point.
So I just day drunk and took a nap.
Yep,
Basically,
yep,
I
yep.
like it. I feel like that sounds like Bryn.
I'll try to carry Bryn back to a hippo
You're
lift.
drunk too.
I'm just, she like didn't get super drunk, just took like 1 or 2 drinks and got a little tipsy.
I will
decided
help by
to
just like
aggressively
keeping.
flirt with Nenrine.
I will help with the Bryn transport by just like keeping a hand on her shoulder since I am not strong enough to actually help. I can balance.
Whopping
Whoa.
6.
Hey guys, whoa, oh, cool. Are we gonna go back to the castle? Sorry,
Yes,
I
we're
just
going back.
combat
to the
takes it out
mansion.
of you, man. I mean, it's
Well, we were searching the mansion for quite a while, so
yeah, that was pretty boring, kind of. There's just only so many underwear you can look through for gold pieces. I don't need gold that much. I really should have stopped looking through underwear after the 5th body.
And yet you
Right.
didn't.
Just I didn't.
Hmm. All right.
So,
Let's
just-
get everyone into a hippo lift.
Okay, you guys
Taxi.
hail a Hippolyph. There's a. You might need to. There are a pair of very bored-looking teenagers driving, and they let you in. They ask where to, and you guys head towards the Old Warwater estate, back to the Old Warwater estate.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking back at you every once in a while because you are very, very clearly. A good number of you are clearly intoxicated.
We paid them to race back to the estate.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Can
Oh,
I
yeah.
to motivate the driver that of the hippo lift that I'm in? Can I give them a sultry wink?
Oh, for crying
Okay.
out loud.
Who's in who? Who is in whose hippo lift? Let's get this straight first before we start racing.
Well, me and Nenrine were helping Bryn back
Yeah.
to a hippo lift. So
Okay, so it's Nenrine, Zai, and Bryn. Okay. in one.
And I guess
Tilda
Raine and
Raine.
I in
Yep.
the other one.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Team Leona.
Oh man.
All right, so you're winking at your driver.
Yes.
Raine, you're
Holding out 100 gold.
Wait, so you're like carried on a stick in your driver?
Yes. Well, no, like I'm saying, get us there before before your friend, and this is all yours.
He's like, yes, ma'am. All right, I'm gonna have to roll animal handling checks for these guys. Let me get their general stats. There they are. Okay, we'll use. There we go. Those NPCs look great. And you're winking, Zai. So inspiration. I'm.
Yeah, sure, that works.
I was okay. Okay, you're a D8 right now, right?
Tilda, what numbers do you have for today?
I already used them, and they weren't
Yeah, I have
good to begin
it's
with.
an extra D8.
All right, so unfortunately for Tilda and Raine, you start falling behind as the driver of Zaitari's Hippolyph pulls quite far ahead, actually. But this feat is completed by the typical running through a fruit stand. And for some reason, for some reason, there's a pile of empty boxes right in the middle of the street that they crash through, sending cardboard everywhere. It's
Cardboard.
Yes, cardboard.
Interesting.
Cardboard.
I want to make a check to grab one of the pieces of fruit flying by.
All right, just give me a dex check.
If you roll a natural 1, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Oh,
You
I was looking forward to a good laugh.
you managed to grab a coconut.
Consider the coconut.
What are we going through?
I am considering the coconut. I'm like, what the?
Did she also get a lime by any chance?
Well, there is
Lime in the
another
coconut?
there is another fruit stand coming up, so let me roll.
So
one.
maybe.
So maybe she can grab a lime in this fruit stand. Ooh. Okay, that's better. All right. So another fruit stand comes up, which Tilda, your driver narrowly misses. Unfortunately, your the other half of your party goes straight through. He kind of rolled a 2. Slowing you guys down greatly because in
Good.
one of the Silenar's faces there is like this large half-rotten pomelo fruit that's kind of landing in his eyes and it's stinging the Silenar's eyes a little bit, and yeah, he is just
We're gonna get charged for animal cruelty.
all right.
Reckless
So
endangerment, racing.
yeah.
all right.
Drag racing, yep.
At this point, Tilda and Raine's Hippolyph pose way ahead.
Woo!
You guys are.
I throw the coconut into their hippolyph.
oh my God.
Take care of this for me, would you?
Roll. Okay, do me a favor. Just roll one more dex check for me, and then roll a d100. But let's see what the dex check.
I'm using lucky.
Oh my
Yep,
God.
I have it.
And this whole time, Nenrine's got just like one hand on the back of his head to keep his scarf on and just sitting firmly.
Okay, that's
All
better.
right, roll a d100.
I'm gonna cast Enhance ability on our driver
Okay.
and give him Owl's wisdom to help with the animal handlings.
Okay.
So he has advantage on wisdom ability checks.
Okay. So the coconut lands on Bryn's head. You just get pelted with this coconut from the hippolyph in front of you.
I start looking around. What? This is a coconut. Whatever. I put it in my pack.
Oh, I mean, you saw it came from the direction of the hippo lift in front of you, so
Oh.
you
I'm saving this for later.
All right, so let's do
Oh god.
one more check.
Either retaliation or a snack.
All right. Unfortunately, your Zai and Bryn and Nenrine's hippo lift is rolling terribly.
Even with the advantage?
Even with the advantage, he is rolling single digits. So now at this point, the hippo lift is Tilda and Raine's hippo lift's way ahead, and just bypassing the war water gates at this point, with the rest of you trailing behind.
Well
I
done.
hear
Well done.
I lean
Tilda's
up to the driver.
laughter.
I lean up to the driver. Hey, you should slow down before we go in and just make it look like they're just crazy driving and you're just normal back here.
Sure, I think Lionel's gonna need like to slow down, and he points to the Silenar in front of you guys, and like he is having he has tiny dinosaur arms, so he can't really wipe the juice from his eye.
From his eye.
Oh.
When they pull up, I'll
need
prestidigitate
wipers.
the juice out of his eye.
Okay.
It's only sporting.
And you know the young man hops off and tries to calm him down, but it's okay. No, it stings. No, it stings. We have arrived at our destination. I hope all of you have enjoyed riding with Hippo Lift today.
Please rate 5 out of 5 stars.
If we get below a 4-star rating, then our boss is going to have to talk to us. But please, enjoy the rest of your day.
I give the loser driver 20 gold just for the entertainment value of the whole situation.
Okay. The winner is
I gave the winner, his 100 gold.
He's like, I know I'm going to definitely enjoy my day. And the two drive off. And this is just sitting there with another goat in her arms. Just
Wait, like another? How many ghosts does she have?
she has a lot of goats.
Oh,
I was going to say, they self-replicate, so it's like every night there's a
They
new
just
one.
asexually reproduce.
Yeah,
constantly.
exactly.
Just
Clones everywhere.
scritching it behind the ear. And it's like, that was something you don't see every day. You guys all right? You look a little roughed up and inebriated, but roughed up.
We are fabulous. Just wonderful.
I could do with a nap.
Okay.
Well, don't you think we should go make proper introductions to Alexandria?
Oh, I agree. I didn't say I needed one immediately. I need a nap to reconcile with the fact that I stared death so closely in the face. Repeatedly.
Yes, you were up and down quite a lot.
It was quite upsetting.
Well, let's go see Alexandria, and the sooner we go, the sooner you can take your nap.
I'm gonna see if I can, can I find some coffee somewhere to sober up just a little bit before we meet with Alexandria?
You could probably ask Nada. She's usually around the kitchen.
Nada.
Hmm?
it
Oh,
is-
hello,
it
dear.
Hello. It is too early in the day for the day that I've had, but regardless, I should probably be just a little more myself before I see boss lady person thing. Do we have coffee somewhere, darling?
Are you
Stronger the better.
Well,
Honestly, I can just chew on some beans if you want me to.
Well,
it's fine.
I was going to say, I do have coffee, but if you want something stronger, I could make you something stronger.
Oh, absolutely.
It doesn't taste
You're gonna get more.
very good, but
As long as
it'll
there's not alcohol in it, it will be perfect.
there is, I guarantee you, there is no alcohol in this concoction. So she goes to the pantry and starts, mixing some water and some herbs, and she's pretty much giving you that concoction from Back to the Future 3.
Oh God.
And she
Tastes like tar.
pretty much, it looks like it too. So she hands it to you, Bryn. If this doesn't give you a swift kick to the bottom, nothing will.
Ooh, do I take psychic damage from eating this?
How's your constitution?
It's not the best. We'll make it do. We'll make do. I will down it.
All right, make a constitution saving throw.
Oh, God damn it. I was joking.
Okay, it definitely sobers you up. Like, this thing, even though there's no alcohol, burns like hell on the way down. Yeah, there's like a bunch of spices and chilies, and it's,
Oh, I feel like I'm gonna grow chest hair in the next 5 minutes. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Please, regardless of what I tell you, never give that to me again. Please.
I can make you a toned down version that only has half the amount of pepper. But
Maybe let's just. I'm good now. Thank you.
You hear a mumble. Maybe I shouldn't have added that much wasabi.
Ooh.
Anyways, if you're looking for Alexandria, she's in the dining room. She had a lot of texts she had to bring out, and she's using the space. So that's where she is if you're looking for her.
So not only would Bryn be
I'm wide awake, and I am pumped to be back.
Oh boy.
it's like Bryn joins us, and we're like, why are your pupils so wide?
Guys, I'm ready to fight it again. Oh my God, let's fight another battle.
Well, I mean, Alexandria did want to test us.
Oh no.
It's like I have not that many spell slots left, guys.
I
Alright,
have
so
no spell slots left.
yeah, we go find Alexandria.
All right, she is in the dining room. There's a bunch of books around her, kind of like a mini fort. There's also she looks like she's sketching something while reading, and when she sees that you are her, she's like, "Oh, hello. How was your outing?"
Exhausting.
I see.
Indeed.
Horrendous.
Well,
Yes, Nenrine here got quite the introduction to our group, if there's any way to put it.
Ah,
Fruit was nice.
I am a researcher, not a combatant, and I was just reaffirmed of that belief today.
I
we
see.
told him that he should ask you about the labyrinth. That
I actually was working on that. The place I wanted to send you guys next. The Temple of Scarlet Water. And she will show you. Hold on. I need this to show in everybody's thing. I drew you a little map of where you'll be headed.
that is a little map.
It's a map for ants. No, not really.
Death pit. That's all I see is death pit.
Do not step in the circle.
I added my notes. This is where you'll be going, and I hope it is to scale. If you take a look at the scale at the bottom. This is the place where I received my arm. Nenrine, I'll show you later. Well, actually
Well, I mean, why not do it now?
Yeah, I might as well.
He's seen worse things today.
He's probably
Including-
seen,
Yes.
The doors of Ayun's heavenly library, apparently.
Yes,
Many-
at least
many
3
times.
times.
Yes.
All right, so you see that instead of just unbuttoning her shirt like the last time with the rest of you guys, she just rolls up her sleeve, removes her glove, and you see that Alexandria's right arm looks like it's encased in the skin looks like it's been encased in like a black bark-like substance. And if you take just a little closer look at the bark-like texture of her hand, it's actually layer upon layer of black scar tissue.
This is the same as it's always been, right?
Yep, it's always been this way. And Alexandria says, "So this is where I got that. So don't ignore the warnings on the map, because this would happen to you, and it's not a nice time."
I would love to not ignore the warnings, not them.
All right, so this is a map. So this is the map of the Temple of the Scarlet Water. It was I don't know how to put this in a good way, so I'm just going to come out and say it.
Oh dear.
This was kind of an entertainment temple for an old one.
As in...
It was a brothel? For an old god.
Well, not a brothel exactly. She points to the giant circle with the symbols at the top. So, old ones fed on emotion. This temple... What? It says books! Books!
That's not what it looks like.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I cannot fucking read
You
half
can
of this stuff.
you can save it and it's bigger, but it still looks like poo.
I mean, if it's in the handout, there should be a giant magnifying glass when you click on it now.
Yeah, except that I still can't read
It
it.
still doesn't get big enough to read.
Yeah.
You have to download it to your. Yeah.
Even that, like, I opened it up in a new window, a new tab and everything, and like I'm scrolled in and I still can't read because it's too light and it's too I'm like,
Okay,
250% zoomed.
Okay.
And
So Alexandria continues to explain. So this temple is built on a nexus, and what I mean by nexus is our lovely world is covered in magical ley lines. Nexus is a point where 2 or more ley lines intersect. This temple is built on one of them. When on this... Where's my book? When on this circle, and I will read this actually... complex of the old ones.
Oops.
That's the
Sorry.
wrong thing.
Didn't realize
let's
I
say,
did
who is
myself.
typing?
My bad. I thought I muted myself.
Complex of the old ones 3.
So it says boobs ho is what it says. I like it. Now,
It says-
I know that it says books.
Here.
Oh, books
ho.
here. Are we making fun of our actual DM's writing?
We
now?
are. We're gonna die.
Yeah.
We're gonna die.
I'm very sorry that we're mocking your writing.
It's alright.
Mine looks way worse, trust me.
I was trying to simulate what somebody would put as notes on the map. I guess Alexandria's
it
writing
looks good.
sucks.
It's very.
It's just
helping me
small.
get in character with Raine, really.
It would be equally hilarious if it was in like super perfect calligraphy
Yeah.
with all the
Boobs
unnecessary like swirls and lines.
here. It really would.
Alright, so that is the central power circle. that summons and directs the flow of mystic energies. Anybody entering it while activated will be bathed in magical energy. And you think, yeah, that's a good feeling, right? It is a good feeling, but then you have to realize who that good feeling is actually for. Yeah. So, please don't step in the circle. Please don't step in the symbols, the smaller symbols around the giant circle, because unless you want to be turned into an elf, then... Not that being an elf is a bad thing, but this is a kind of... This is essentially a circle of transformation for turning people into elves. Or male or female.
Weirdly
Well, what happened if I
specific.
stepped into it then?
I don't think anything would happen to you, actually. Unless
So
you
wait,
wanted
you're
to turn into a woman.
fascinating.
There's a symbol, there's a smaller circle next to the stick man that is supposed to be the symbol of woman back in Ye-Oh days.
Well, I've embraced androgyny at this point, so it wouldn't matter one way or the other.
Probably not. But don't step in
Did
the
you
circle,
switch back and
please.
forth?
What else should I tell you? There is a sword in this temple. Please do not pick it up. And if one of your friends...
I glance at Bryn. Or
It's-
not Bryn, Raine.
I'm the one that poked the sword. That talked.
I know. I look at Bryn.
I'm actually quite serious about it because I will not let you back into this state if you take that sword with you.
Is it cursed
What?
then?
Yes.
What's
It's
on it? Okay.
Very cursed. It's called the Sword of Eternity, and it was made by an old one. Anybody who attunes themselves to the sword, during their point of owning the sword will be assassinated, and the sword will return to its proper place.
Oh,
What benefit is there to having the sword in the first place then?
For an old one's sick pleasure.
Why
I
isn't
suppose
it,
you could
like
give it to somebody that you wanted to kill.
Be quite roundabout and uncertain if it would work, really, unless they were quite avid about their weapons collecting.
So don't touch your sword. It's a sword of eternity. Has a really awesome name, but does bad things. There's also, if you've noticed, where below to the far right, where there's that dark circle, I have put a note that says "Do not go in." That is a portal to another world.
nice?
Okay.
It's a world that I do not know, and if you go in, you're not coming back. So don't go
And
in
it's
that portal.
known,
Well, how do
it's
you
known
know?
to be
Then
active
how do
still.
you, yeah, how do you know that it goes to another world?
You can actually look through it and see the other side.
But how do you know that you won't come back? Perhaps there's a portal on the other side.
You see Alexandria begins to look really uncomfortable.
Did you lose someone through it?
There might have been a gnome that was
All right, that's enough.
okay. We tried to get him back. It didn't work. Anyways, there's also way at the bottom, the note that says "Do not activate teleport." That is it's a possibly active teleportation circle. Even though I disassemble it, but if you reassemble it, it could possibly still work. That goes to a very and she glances at her arm, a very bad place. Don't go there, please.
What place specifically?
So you know how there are you know how there are like major gods and minor gods in our
Yes.
cosmology. Yeah. This held truths to beings called the Old Ones, beings of, and I'll explain more about this to you, Nenrine. Horrific beings who fed on the negative emotions of mortals and nearly caused the apocalypse. Their structure is not is similar to our own. They have major ode ones and there are minor ode ones, and if you want to meet a minor ode one, you could activate that teleportation circle and go meet a minor ode one. It usually ends badly for most people.
So what you're saying is a shit ton of XP. I like it.
Or possible death.
I didn't say that out loud.
I was about to say, that sounds like something Bryn would say, though.
I love.
So that teleportation circle leads to the old one's equivalent of the ethereal plane or the abyss.
It's actually the same plane. It leads to a place called, weirdly enough, the Place of Magic. I know, it's a very nondescript name. Whoever named it, I have no idea. But it leads to a large fortress where an old one is currently slumbering. And we do not want them to wake up. We do not need them to wake up. No matter whether it's a minor or a major old one.
I'm hearing endgame arc here, guys.
But
we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight a boss there later.
But
cool.
Don't activate that portal. I actually like you guys. Please don't activate that portal.
How sweet of you to say, darling.
You remind me of myself before. Anyway, she stopped looking at her arm. There are 3 things I need you to retrieve from this temple. The first one is a rune located near the sword. Again, reiterating, do not pick up the sword. It might try to call out to you, just don't pick it up. And if one of you tries to pick it up, I give all permission for you guys to tackle, to bind the person who tries to pick up the sword.
Quick question, because it does sound very deadly, and if it calls out to you, do we need to watch for, like, is it going to exert magical influence over somebody? Could we, by walking near it, be lured into picking it up? Do we need to be on guard for that sort of thing? I mean, out of character, I'm kind of asking, like, if it has, like, a siren effect.
Right. No, it's actually sentient. So, it doesn't have...
Everyone's favorite.
Yeah, everybody's favorite. It actually can speak to you because it has a sentience to it, but it doesn't... when I was down there, I did not feel any... try to, like, exert any magical... like tendencies towards me, like a suggestion or a charm person. It's can be very convincing though. It's a very charismatic sword.
Did you hear it with your ears or with your mind?
Telepathic communication.
Okay. Damn, I was really hoping we could just put silence down and not have to deal with it, but okay.
Right. So there's a rune, and I will draw out the rune. I need that specific rune just to pull it from the rock. And she draws a rune with that it looks like a triangle with a stick in the middle of each line of the triangle. That's what you're looking for to pull out. It should be fairly easy to pull out. The second thing I'd like you guys to get there is where I've marked books here. Just to grab all the books you can find in that area.
We're gonna handle that.
And then the last thing, you might
You do realize it says books, darling, not grab all the boobs in that area.
Whatever it takes.
My tutor was a mathematician, not a...
Some of them might have pictures of boobs.
That's possible.
As much as I like books, I'm not going there with Raine.
I just pat Raine when I say that. Like, there's a chance there's a boob. It's okay.
Okay.
The third thing I need you to get is so the circle it's fine to stand out of the circle when you do this. Please don't step into the circle, like I said. The larger circle of that whole decoration in the north is actually made from blood. It's dried, so I'd need a few flakes of it to be brought back here for the ritual that I'm going to cast to disenchant that violin we got from the Ice Queen.
Wait, so what do we need from up top?
That circle, it's made from blood. It's dried, but it still contains very powerful magical
So we need
energies.
to we need to collect the blood.
Yeah, you just need to like chip some flakes away from it.
Okay.
I don't need. Alexandria says I don't need much, but it's the reason that the blood's so special is because it's made from the blood of an old one.
Do we need to do anything specific to transport it properly?
Glass vial should be fine. I suggest not trying to eat it.
Was that also something bad that happened at one point? Did somebody actually try to eat it?
No, I just assume it's not good to eat the blood of a dark
Why would
god.
that occur to
was-
you as an option that any of us?
My brother's weird.
Well, several scientific ventures are progressed via the tasting of things.
I did know
The
somebody
study
who
of
learned. I heard of a man called the Dragonborn who learned alchemy by eating ingredients. So I do know people who taste things.
Oh, that took me a second. I'm like, what? Oh.
One's mouth is a very powerful scientific tool.
I didn't get the joke that.
It's a Skyrim joke.
Skyrim joke.
Oh, okay.
You could eat an alchemy ingredient and find out what it did.
Just slam
But you
like
had to
7
eat,
beans
like-
in a row.
You had to eat like giant toes
Oh.
and
And you
butterfly
had a
wings
lot
and
of them
stuff.
sometimes.
Yeah,
If you don't
anything
have
that
to
you could make a potion with, you
Yeah.
could eat it and learn.
eat a lot.
Okay. Thank you.
But yes, that is so pretty much don't activate things, don't step into other worlds. When you're crawling through the tunnel to get to the temple, don't go north because that's a bottomless pit. We also had an accident while going up there and losing somebody to the bottomless pit. It was tragic. Tragic it was. Yes.
So, other than the fact that this whole building is made to maim and kill and just fuck with people,
Mhm.
Are there denizens that we're gonna have to possibly deal with?
Right. The majority of the denizens when I went the first time were spirits and skeletons of minotaurs. Those have been cleaned out. I haven't been back in 15 or so years, so it could be possible that something has made their home since that time point. So,
How many ways are there to get in this place? Is it just that small hole that is on the map?
physically, there's only one way to get in. Magically, there are 2 ways to get out. Well,
Okay.
there.
So we're looking at something that's either small or magically inclined,
Yes.
if it's in there.
Yeah.
Cool.
It could. I mean, there are many creatures who are attracted to nexuses, so I'd be a little wary, but it shouldn't be, hopefully, too big of a deal. Yeah. Oh, and Tilda, I have a favor to ask of you, actually.
Of me?
Yes. You still have the Tristine Chronicle, right?
Yes.
Could you give it to Nenrine to read for a bit, if you're finished with it? I'd like him. Sorry. I'd like.
It's fine.
I'd like him to know what we're kind of dealing with here. Just to bring him back up to speed.
Sure. I'll reach into my bag of holding and pull it out, hand it over.
Alright. And after you're done with that and copy or take all the notes you want, I think we should lock that tome away.
Certainly, I'll be done with it quite quickly.
Really quickly, because I'm trying to read all this, and I can read most of it. I mean, sure, it could be boobs or books, but we know it's books. What is... All right, there's cages, old something, and I know it doesn't say banana, but that's all I'm seeing. There's like stairs and then banana as a question mark.
That says arena.
Arena. Okay, I'm really sorry. I
It's
am.
old
I
cells
just
and
had
arena.
no idea what it was. Okay. thank you.
Honestly, I kept seeing Onenia, so I was like,
It's
Sure.
just small. I can't make it big enough for me to read very well. So
I feel like I'm really good at reading any handwriting because I've read like 17-year-old boys' essays in batches of like 50 at a time.
ugh.
I can read everything.
That says old
So-
armory beneath cages.
Okay.
Kitchen is below the lab. Dining is below the lab. Old cells. There's a torture room beneath the giant "Do not step in the circle" note.
Okay.
Yes. I think that's all that you guys need. That's the immediate danger I know of. Now what I plan on doing with these items is actually using them in our ritual, which I've actually located a good spot for it to take place. We're probably gonna have to head to the glass desert after this. There is actually another nexus point I've located, and that will be perfect for conducting the ritual. It's also very open, unfortunately, so if you guys can think of anything we can use for a defense.
How much time do we have to prepare?
Yes, because I can. I have several spells that I can use to help protect us.
We have time. After you get back, and once we get to the glass desert, I'll be ready to cast. There's also one more thing. Magpie, who is Phoenix, who is the former leader of our guild. Because of the nature of the enemy, I have contacted Locke, and I did get a message from him recently. He's actually going to be on his way here. He might help us with any insight on what's going on in Phoenix's mind. I had requested the Trinity come as well, but it seems they're a little tied up with things happening in the east. So we're a little out of luck there. But
The Trinity?
so, of course, they didn't give you a crash course on what. Okay. The way our organization works is Locke is our guild master. He's the leader. Below him, he has 3 seconds, technically. They're called the Trinity. These are people that have proven themselves to be extraordinary members. They are pretty much the second in command of the entire guild. Below the Trinity are the cell leaders, which include myself, and the people that are in charge of each one of their cells, aka countries, and then below them are their second in commands, and then the rest of us. We rank with the cell leaders. So Trinity is they hand pick cell leaders, and I have met them. I don't exactly know who they are because they kept themselves covered when they were talking to me, and Locke when this process of making me a special ops leader came about. So they are second in command, and they are occupied in the east right now.
Also, just a quick question.
Mhm.
How long do you think this would, like, all of this, the going to this temple and then going to this desert to do this ritual, how long do you think time-wise that would take us, because there seems to be some troubling things happening.
Back east.
Yes, in Leona-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I was aware of that, actually. I got a message from my sister recently, and
Can't rush a good job, people.
yeah, she's gonna need some help. So I'm going to be sending you there soon. So at most,
I said can't rush a good job. In other words, she doesn't want to go.
a week and a half. And then during that time I plan on actually I have word that the Falcon is going to be coming to Amaville on the Robur East Coast. So you can grab the airship
Who?
back. The Falcon
Oh!
is a
Oh.
airship.
Oh. Okay.
It belongs to a second in command in Leona, actually.
I was about to say, I think out of character I know this.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry.
Yep. They'll be in Amaville soon, within 2 weeks, and I've told them that to expect a few passengers to bring them to Leona, because Leona's actually requesting treasure hunters of Leona are actually requesting any spare personnel to go to that country right now, which is unheard of. It doesn't happen unless there's something big happening, and it's this. So I'm gonna send you guys there. I know some of you've been itching to go. So that's all in all what's going to be happening. Outside of this temple, there is a village called book.
Called Book? Is
Yeah.
it a kobold village?
It is called Tamaran. It's a small village. There's only about 300 people in that village. When you get to the village, there is an individual named Uncle Basil there. Tell him that I sent you, and he will lead you to the tunnel that leads into the temple. Any other questions?
So, just to go over it again really quickly, what are our main objectives?
Main objectives: go to this temple. I need the rune, the old one's blood, and all the books from that lab if they still exist. And I need you to bring them back. We'll plan our defenses and head to the Glass Desert. I will cast a ritual which will disenchant the Ice Queen's violin. And if it works, then I expect we're going to attract some attention from Magpie. And the reason I think Magpie herself will show up is because the type of ritual I'm conducting, it's going to release a lot of energy. A lot.
And where exactly is the desert?
The Glass Desert?
Glass desert, whatever?
The Glass Desert is... You know, I rag him about it all the time, but Brandon made a giant map of Robur with all the landscapes, and now I wish I had the PDF format of it. The Glass Desert is above north. I'm trying to remember my directions. Northwest of Fort Granite, under pretty much where the R is under Robur. If you
Okay.
open up the map, it's around that
Yep.
area. Yeah. So you'd probably have to go near Quaison to go to Tamaran, and then head back to Fort Grant, and then we'll all go to the Glass Desert and conduct a ritual at the cusp of midnight on the waxing moon.
Sure.
Yes.
Now, I had a question about this temple, and mainly about your experience there. Since it is on the Nexus, and it is also connected to a very powerful being who is tied to magic inherently, did magic act erratically there, or did it seem to function as normal?
It functions as normal unless you purposely try to tap into the Nexus's power, like via magical summoning circles and whatnot.
Okay, it's good to know there's no bleed over. That could be problematic.
No, you should be fine just casting. You should be able to cast as normal. When I was casting there, I did not see or feel any differences when I was casting, and neither did my compatriots. So you should be fine.
Fantastic.
Like I said, the only big danger besides going into those portals is I don't know what's made their home since I've left. So.
And about how long was that? Like, how long has this place been empty?
About 15 years.
Okay, definitely long enough for all kinds of stuff to happen. Got ya.
Yeah, so just be cautious.
And when are we leaving for this place?
I was hoping the next day or so. Day or
At
two.
least tomorrow.
Tomorrow is
Yes.
Not today.
fine. You guys can rest for a day. Like I
We
said,
are.
you look
Tapped out.
you look pretty bad. I'm sorry.
I beg your pardon.
Well, you looked worn out.
I mean, to be fair, we
That's
do look
not
pretty
much
bad.
better.
Those little lines around the eyes, you know.
How dare
You look
you?
Starting to
tired.
look a little creepy.
All that goodwill just went right out the window.
How dare you?
Please do not fight in the dining room.
Oh, we're just joking, Alexandria. Everything is completely fine.
I immediately pull out a mirror and I'm checking my eyes for crow's feet.
You look lovely, darling. Could I can I talk to Nenrine privately for a moment?
Zaitari slides over to Nenrine and wraps her arm
Oh,
inside
God.
him, and just kind of leans into him.
I kinda-
Well, I was
put
going to
my
go
hair
ask
over
if you
my
wanted to go
shoulder.
shopping, but I guess not quite yet.
I flip my hair over my shoulder and make sure it smacks her in the face.
Oh,
Damn.
Zaitari
course.
takes it.
Alexandria, we can speak in private.
I only need you for a few minutes. It's not going to take very
Yes,
long.
I feel like there's a lot that I must catch up on. I was whisked away before introductions could even be made.
And I apologize for that. I did not know that.
It's quite all right. I didn't expect things to function the same out here as they did in the library. I understand.
All right. Yeah, he'll see you in a few minutes. Oh, maybe 15. Wait, 30. He'll see you soon.
There will be a buffer just in case.
Bless you.
Oh my god.
Bless
I'm
you.
sorry, guys. I was muting it and unmuting it backwards.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah. I actually said something when I was muted, but it was just an agreement that everything's
Just gone. Gone with the wind.
You look fine till. Oh, never mind. So once the rest of you walk out, Alexandria will say, "I'm very sorry about what happened to you. I did not think this would be your first day going to rescue orphans."
I mean, on my way here, I encountered my fair share of vagabonds and raiders, but that is quite different than, storming an entire, essentially a fortress within a house with several powerful people there and just a large number of lackeys.
Yeah, you learn to get used to it I have a brother who is very charges a lot, headlong into many things. I've gotten many scars because of that. But so your trip here was was okay. You didn't.
Yes. It was
Yeah.
fairly uneventful.
Okay, good. And you're still interested in. Oh, I just mentioned old magic, old ones, terrible beings of unimaginable power that are sleeping underneath Pandera's crust. That you're okay with that?
Well, can I be honest with you?
Sure.
It frankly sounds more appealing than making the trip back.
Okay,
My
because
skin does not fare well in this desert weather. I desperately need a moisturizer right now. And
I have some lovely night balm I have made. It will replenish skin. It's hydrates skin pretty well actually. I'll
now,
let you borrow.
when we go on these excursions, do you have any objections to me taking my own samples for study?
No, not at all. You may as well. You may do that if you wish. I just asked
Must I report them? Do I need to keep a log? Is what I'm asking. Must I write down everything that I collect to study and
Not
turn it in?
everything. Things you if you wanted a sample of the old one's blood, for example, you can take a little bit of it. Just I discourage digesting your samples.
I'm not a geologist. I don't eat everything that I come across.
That's good to know. And I asked you to come anyways because I know my mother had mentioned that you were very thorough with your research and note taking, but it's not required of you to write down every single sample you take. You can I trust that you will, not do anything evil with said samples. Just
Oh no,
for
of
your
course
study.
not. It is one of the benefits of being an elf is that I have the time to be as thorough as I can be.
How is I know you spend a lot of time in the library, but how are things back in Dorenithel? If you don't mind me asking, is it still as
I'm
harsh?
unfortunately not the best person to ask. I get blinders, sort of tunnel vision
I see.
with my studies, and I tend to chain them together quite quickly, so I don't have free time
I see.
to. Yes, I apologize. I wish I could give you more information.
I was just asking. I'm just gonna be blunt with you. How is my if you know the other side of my family, how are they doing? I haven't spoken to any of them.
The last contact I had with any of them, it was under unfortunate circumstances, but seemed as well as they could be given the situation.
I see.
Again, I apologize. I'm not a social butterfly.
It's fine. It's fine. I just wanted to know they were at least alive.
If you'd like, I could always write to them on your behalf, so you don't have to do it, but you can find out information.
That would be maybe when all this is over. That would be nice.
It'd be my pleasure.
Thank you. But yes. So do you have any questions for me or the situation that you didn't want to ask in front of the others or anything of that nature?
They used some quite unusual abilities during that fight, and ones that I have not seen before.
Yes.
Really? Do you have literature on that I could study while we travel? In addition to the chronicles that you have me reading.
I do. I'll be giving you an item that is produced from that magic. Normally I wouldn't do this, but this is the quickest solution I can think. I can teach you what I know. You just it comes in the form of a spell. I can't do this too often. I just ask you to not to fight back when I cast this, just to be willing. I know this sounds
That's
strange. I know
oh
this
no,
sounds very strange.
anything for the sake of knowledge and exploration. This is so exciting for me. I've never experienced any of this or really read about any of this, so I'm getting firsthand experience, and that's the most wonderful thing. So I am more than willing. I am eager.
Okay. All right. Alexandria puts her hand on your head, and she's going to cast impart knowledge on you. She's actually going to do the ultimate of this. She will give you as much knowledge as possible, because you still would have to act out like the hand signs and all that stuff, but she's pretty much cramming as much old magic knowledge in your head as possible without overloading you. And she does take some hit point loss from this. When there is this rush, like it feels like a wave crashing into you mentally. There is knowledge of, you see brief flashes of very large, grotesque creatures. You connect in your mind that these are known as the Old Ones. She gives you the knowledge of some of the spells you have seen, such as dark transport. She she also, during the spell, she removes her hand, and she gauges how well you're taking it. It's just this rush of knowledge that you have never experienced before. It's like absorbing a whole different culture into your mind in the span of 5 minutes. And after what seems like what's only transpires as minutes, what felt to you like hours, she removes her hand from your forehead, and she asks, "Nenrine, you okay?" So I know it's a lot to take in.
Slightly lightheaded, but otherwise quite fine, I think. This is fascinating.
I don't know whether I want to give you this experience yet, but I could show you my experience with an actual Old One. I don't know if it would be too frightening for you.
I'm willing to try.
Okay. She'll increase her ultimate to 25%. At this point, you see with her now, bare black hand, that the tips of her fingernails are actually jagged on that hand. She runs the tips of her fingernails, her nails down her arm of her left hand, so she's bleeding a little bit. She places her hand back on your head, and immediately your vision plunges into darkness. You think your eyes are open. You're looking around, and you realize that you're not actually controlling your movements. It's like you're looking through somebody else's eyes. And when you try to speak, there's another voice that comes out. And the voice says, Angie? Anastace? Angie? Oh, crap. And the person who you're looking through is, frantically looking about. There is a overwhelming sense of panic, and there is a voice that you hear in your head, and it says, well, what do we have here? I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
And this is where we lose Nenrine. Oh, hey.
Lost into madness.
Yeah.
I'm a cleric. If I'm bad at wisdom saving throws, I really don't deserve to live as this character.
I was about to say, well, wait a second. Never mind.
I'm bad at wisdom saving throws against myself.
That's true.
So you're fine, but it seems like the entities whose head you are looking through is not. You hear, and now that you've listened long enough, you realize you're looking through Alexandria's eyes. French, right? No! I'm busy monologuing! Go!
I'm busy monologuing.
Oh, perfect.
No, he came underneath my desk and he put a paw on my leg. It's like, hungry, feed me. Sorry.
Feed me Seymour.
That was
Sorry.
that was a very inopportune time, cat. Alexandria is very clearly freaking out at this point. And then suddenly the darkness fades away and you are in a large stone room. There is something in the room with you. You don't see it yet, but there is a very shallow breathing of a very, very large creature. And when Alexandria's head finally turns to this creature, there is a large black mass whose what you think is his chest rising up and down very slowly. But the creature doesn't seem like it's awake. And out of whether it's curiosity or bravery, Alexandria finally regains composure and starts taking a few steps towards the sleeping entity. When she gets around, and this thing is gargantuan, when she finally gets around a certain around a bend, you see there is multiple eyes that surround this creature. What looks like skulls of different creatures, of orcs, of minotaurs, of demon-like entity skulls with long fangs, kind of embedded within the mass of this creature. There is this long proboscis that is is sticking out of his body for some, like, kind of in the middle. It's not a creature you've ever seen before. And there is a wave of terror that kind of is instilled in Alexandria's heart. And then, strangely enough, you hear her say, what are you? And you see her reach out with her right hand, and as soon as she just brushes the creature, there is a intense pain, like as if she tried to grab onto a lightning bolt, and it just surges through her body. I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
This is where, yep,
Yeah.
we lose
Yeah.
Nenrine.
+0.
You, as your own consciousness is fading, you hear Alexandria scream and scream and scream, and just before you fade away, you see that her hand, as she pulls her hand away from this creature, it looks like her hand is actually becoming inside out. You witness as the flesh on her arm seems to like the flesh from within her arm like cover her epidermis, and like it's literally her hand is turning, inside out of itself. And that is the last image you see before you open your eyes in Alexandria's dining room. She still has her hand, her left hand on your head. She looks worried, but looks relieved when you finally open your eyes again. It's like,
I stagger slightly and put a hand on the back of a chair to kind of ground myself.
She goes to a pitcher that's on the table and she pours a glass of water, hands it to you. Are you all right?
Who else has seen this?
You and me are the only one to have seen this. When Angelo finally found me, that thing was nowhere in sight. I don't know where they found me. I know where they found me, but it wasn't the same place I saw that thing. And that, of course, was not a dream.
I assume you had made your way to the place of magic.
Yeah, I did. I was very foolish. I thought, I knew exactly what I was doing, and when I activated the teleportation circle, I realized afterwards I didn't know what I was doing. Angelo told me it was a miracle they actually found me. I was delirious. I don't remember anything after that moment. That was a minor owed one.
A minor?
Minor. There are majors. There were 7. The 7th went missing a long, long time ago from what the texts say. There are 6 that are sleeping right now. And they can't be destroyed. I don't know if the minor one can be destroyed, but the major ones cannot be destroyed. It's you'll probably read it in the Tristan Chronicle, but the gods thought the backlash from destroying the Owed Ones would eradicate everything. So that's why they're asleep.
Are they essentially at this point simply being used as stabilizers then?
No, well, they're asleep because...
Or batteries?
No, they're just asleep because that's the only thing the gods could do at the time when they were put down the first time. They're just...
Lost for a second.
Hello.
Yeah.
I am back.
Hello.
It just cut out for a second for some reason. They're just asleep. That's their way of being contained. But
they remain asleep in order to not destabilize what we have.
Yes.
I see. And the minor old ones have nothing to do with that stabilization process.
No. But I guess it would be possible to kill a minor old one. I've never tried, and quite frankly, I let sleeping dogs lie, so to speak.
It's potentially possible, but highly improbable.
Yeah.
If contact is able to do such damage without it being aggressive contact.
The other thing is, you heard that voice.
Yes, I did.
Even though they're not conscious, their influence still reaches out. That's why at this particular temple it was built... well, the temple was built by the Old Ones, but the temple was further used by the Minotaurs. There was a major Old One when the Minotaurs were digging. They got close to a slumbering Old One. The Old One they got close to was named Yablink. And he's the Old One of betrayal. His consciousness, even while sleeping, his influence was so strong that he turned an entire race against a world.
Now, is this old one sleeping beneath the temple or beneath the place of magic?
This Old One, I don't know where it's sleeping. The minor Old One is in the place of magic.
Okay.
Yablink place of rest has been lost. I haven't even tried to find where the Old Ones are sleeping right now. Probably out of cautiousness, probably partly out of fear as well. I will admit that freely.
That's very understandable considering your run-in with a minor.
Yes. But I don't know. I don't know what's gonna... My greatest fear, Nenrine, is this entity called the Magpie, who's been gathering old magic items. It is possible to awaken an O1 through multiple uses of a major old magic item. This was done with an item called the Dragon Sphere. It was an item created from old magic used to turn metallic dragons into stone. That process, turning many metallic dragons into stone, almost woke up an old one. And then the sphere was disassembled and its parts were scattered throughout the world. My greatest fear is magpies trying to do something very similar.
I see. Now, these spells that are learnable through old magic and old magic techniques, do those pose the same risk?
They do not. You would need a very, very powerful spell. It would be the equivalent of using a spell of the ninth class, and using it over and over again as many times, as many as possibly 100 times in the same year for that to happen.
So it would be apt to say that it requires the near constant use of essentially an artifact of great power.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Do you know what old one items she's gathered so far, or he has gathered so far?
The violin I have in my possession was one that she was after. I do not know what I have. Well, I do actually. The treasure hunters have provided me a short list of what she has stolen from them. Most of them appear to be old magic items of little consequence. However, it concerns me because the dragon sphere I mentioned, she was going after a piece of it. I have one of the pieces that I keep with me at all times.
In an extra dimensional pocket, I hope.
It's in a
Hello?
hey.
Hello.
Sorry.
It's in a box that is sealed that it prevents any detection, anti-scrying and whatnot.
Fantastic.
However, there are other pieces as well. She shouldn't have gotten this piece because this piece actually was with an associate of mine who was in a teleporting tower. I don't know how it ended up where it ended up.
Do you know how many pieces of the dragon sphere
Yes.
there are?
Yes, there are. I have the green crystal. So each crystal corresponds with a chromatic dragon color. So there's a green, there's a red, black, white, and blue.
So not many pieces at all then.
Not many pieces. There's also the orb that connects them all. The staff, if you will.
Okay.
I have the green. And the individual who scattered the pieces is a you might have heard of this individual. His name is Valerian the Chronomancer. You can roll a history check if you want to see if you know about this.
I would, yes. Can you type it out so I can have the spelling for my notes?
You've heard of him. He is a very powerful wizard who disappears, actually, once in a while. But he's been alive for possibly hundreds of years. He created the wall around Algor, which doesn't allow people to get through to the country by magical means. He has also been rumored to be the only wizard in Pandera to actually be able to control time magic. He's actually the person who came up with the concept and developed a whole school behind chronomancy.
All right.
And Alexandria said, and he is the one who is responsible for disassembling the dragon sphere once he realized it could not be destroyed.
Okay then. Well, this is a far stickier situation than I was anticipating when I agreed
It is.
to coming out here.
It is. And Nenrine, if you're not comfortable being a field agent, I could always use just a full-time researcher. It's okay if this isn't what you want. This wasn't exactly what you're thinking that you would be doing.
Well, I don't know if I like it or not yet, because I've yet to experience it, so I may take you up on that offer eventually, but as of right now, I cannot rule out this career path, I suppose you could say.
I suppose.
I would like some aid in just not dying constantly when faced with enemies. That would be quite lovely. I can make you a pair of shoes if you ask. I can blow glass. I can create jewelry at a drop of a hat. I cannot survive being stabbed repeatedly.
I suggest standing in the back. That was my role when I was with my brother and my companions. I stood in the back, behind the hardier combatant.
Oh, this is a question that the magic performs normally, you said, but do the old ones take umbrage with divine magic, or do they not care?
They don't care, as far as I've seen. Why do you ask?
Well, the gods are responsible for their current positions, and I just thought that perhaps there might be some ill will between divine practitioners and them.
Well, when the Minotaurs, from the history I've gathered, when the Minotaurs were coaxed to the side of darkness, so to speak, they abandoned their creator's magic. And the Minotaurs in mythology were said to be created by both Melora and Arathis. So they did not have true clerics at that point in time in history. They may have channeled the old ones instead, but they could be a little upset, I suppose, if you tried to fight an old one with divine magic, knowing who put them away. But as far as with them sleeping, I don't think it matters.
Well, I have no intention on picking a fight with one of those things. Ideally, no fights with anyone, if I'm being honest.
I don't think anybody wants to fight no one. I know very few people that have been successful.
Is success measured simply by surviving?
Surviving, it was said that the original persons, the gods had help the first time they put the old ones away. They had the primordials, and then they imprisoned the primordials. And then other entities had to help eventually, but survival, yes. Survival would be considered a success, just getting to the point. Well, I did not expect to tell you all of that when I asked to be alone. I just wanted to know how you were doing and if you needed any assistance, but that divulged very quickly.
Oh, I need a lot of, as it turns out, and I'm not doing so well. So
you'll be.
I'm much happier to have information at this. I understand research and learning. I don't understand storming a gang's fortress.
Well, this temple should prove very knowledge rich when you arrive. It's a glimpse into what the old ones did before they went to sleep. But I won't take up any more of your time. You go rest and let me know if there are any. It will take a while because there's a lot on our plate right now, but I am the proprietor of a couple magic shops and some employees. So if there's anything within the realm of reason that you'd like me to research into making, let me know. Bryn, your compatriot, is also a very skilled jeweler. She's been making items. I believe. Um,
I'm most interested in just finding a place where I can purchase components for the spells that I need, the ones that consume components, such as divination and non-detection and the such. It's quite expensive, and I just would like a reliable shop I can go to.
well, my shop is pretty reliable. There is also a few others you can go to, as well as several alchemy shops I can give you a list of, and the others could probably provide you with a list as well, since they've done extensive shopping in the area.
Fantastic. I have some lovely spells, and they all just eat everything up. It's 100 gold just gone because I wanted to protect something.
So much shopping.
So much shopping for a poor cleric.
Don't
I just want to cast non-detection.
If you need to take out a loan, just ask.
I'll earn the money first.
Okay.
I can do without casting non-protection for a little bit.
And like I said, if there's anything you'd be interested in me making, just let me know.
Well, I've got to go collect a breastplate so that I can sneak around a bit easier.
You should go do that then.
Yes, my armor currently is quite loud, and I need all the help I can get with not being noticed and then not being attacked. So, yes, I'll let you know if I think of anything. I don't have anything off the top of my head right now, but I have had a stressful day.
I've heard. Just go take a break. Go rest. Go get to know your friends.
How big are the bathtubs here?
They're quite large. This is my old grandfather's estate, so all the amenities I've renovated, and there's even running water.
Fantastic. I will be in the tub for the next 4 hours washing the dust and blood out of my hair if you need me.
All right, you go do that. And Nada, our housekeeper, she just let her. She's the large Goliath that will be around the kitchen. Just let her know if you need any bath supplies or anything of that nature, or food.
I will. Thank you very much. I look forward to these ventures. If I die, don't return my body to the Temple of Ayun. I will be the laughingstock, even in death. So, just let me disappear.
Okay.
You're much kinder. Thank you. I know that's an odd request, but thank you so much. I have got to go pamper myself and moisturize before I shrivel up and blow away in the wind.
Okay. She reaches into her handy haversack and gives you a small black jar. The night balm I told you about. Just apply it to your skin before you go to bed. It moisturizes very well.
Thank you. I will be using all of this tonight.
All right. Be right back, guys. Cats.
Okay.
That's right. Oh.
Everybody, I want your shopping list ready. I want this done in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I have a list.
Let me compile my list of consumable spell components that I need for my 4 spell levels of cleric that I have to thumb through real quick.
I mean,
she has said spells are expensive.
She has said, as long as you say, I go shopping for the components that I need, or for my spells.
Yeah, I just have to mark it down in my inventory though, because I've got 7 or 8 different spells that will all just consume things, so I have to have it all listed out. Non-detection is a killer because I need 100 gold worth of diamond dust, and I need to get some gold. I can't even afford the diamonds for Revivify, but I think we should probably invest in a Revivify. Just one.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
That's 300 gold worth of diamonds, so I'm already up to 400 gold.
I feel like Revivify is a party spell.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you ask Tilda, she'll gladly give you party funds for that Revivify.
And if you guys want a glyph of warding, I also need 200 gold for that.
Okay.
What does that do again? Is that one that you can just put stuff into, right?
Yeah, so I can do explosive runes where I can make it just blow up and take a ton of damage when something triggers it, or I can store a spell inside of it.
Well, that'll probably be good for when we go into the middle of the desert.
Yeah, that was the spell I was thinking of for defensive stuff, because it lasts until it's triggered. It takes me an hour to cast it, which just sucks. And it's 200 gold per glyph. It's 200 gold of diamond and incense. So that's, I'm up to 650 gold.
You know,
I
speaking
feel
of,
like we can do that.
we haven't had anyone die in 2 years, have we? Not even.
Well, Nenrine's here now, so
Yeah.
get ready to break that streak.
Well, the problem is she has Revivify, so.
Also, you said
No
that
wonder
out
you
loud,
bring us
so
back.
now we're screwed.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I know, I'm trying to get a little drama going here. It's like, come on, somebody die.
I'm checking all my spell components to see how much.
We've had
I
some
need.
close calls. Like
I've had all the close calls.
last.
Yeah, we even had a
Last session.
rolling for a death save on 2 out of 3. I don't think we even got that far, have we?
I think we
Zaitari
did
almost
last-
died in her first session. She got one hit KO'd by that Banshee.
Oh, that's right.
Do you guys want me to stock up enough to have a couple divinations available, or only like one?
I feel like we could give you 1,000 gold.
I feel like
It
we
would
could give
all
you
be
like
spell
5,000 gold.
Oh,
And
true. We did just pick up
honestly-
a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
Being
we
a cleric
literally
is
just picked
really
up 5,000
expensive.
gold.
I'm sorry, being a cleric is so expensive.
How about we do like 2k into cleric spell component for now?
Cleric funds. Okay, I'm gonna tally up how much I need.
We'll take that from the party funds, which I feel like is fairly good.
How many revivifies would you like?
I feel like we should have at least 2.
Okay, I'll put it down for 2. I'm already up to 1,000 gold in costs.
See, I'm here thinking we should have at least 3 revivifies, just in case.
Okay, that's up to 3. So that's 900 gold alone. Do you think it's worth having
Worth having what?
animate dead? Just prepared going into this kind of thing.
I don't know.
mean, that's entirely up to you. I'm not going to give you party funds for Animate Dead, though.
Yeah, okay.
It kind of depends on how you want Nenrine to work.
I mean, right now I feel like he's a metrosexual, androgynous man who's just kind of here. He's
Sure.
along for the ride,
Looking
Just
for
kinda-
adventure.
Being.
looking for adventure. Clairvoyance. Do you want me to have clairvoyance
Ooh,
available?
clairvoyance is a good spell.
Okay. I only need 100 gold once for that one. Luckily.
What does clairvoyance do?
It doesn't. It's like you ask the DM a question,
agree.
it'll tell you
No,
if it's like good or
that's
bad.
divination.
Oh.
That's augury. Augury,
Yeah.
I have the finger bones for already. Divination, I get to ask my god a question, and they have to answer me, no matter yes or it's not just good or bad. Clairvoyance
Yeah, that's
is
right,
I
that's
create an invisible sensor, and
Okay.
it's like a permanent scrying kind of thing, and we can move away from it, and I can look around that one spot for 10 minutes.
I feel like we have that kind of covered with the eye cage.
This would be if we need to have 2 places monitored at once.
True. Okay.
Yeah,
You know,
and it's it can't be attacked or interacted with at all.
that's
But
true.
it can't move, right?
Yeah,
It's
it cannot
stationary.
move, but I can place it in somewhere that it's obvious, but I don't know it. So like, I want to see behind this door. I can cast clairvoyance right behind the door, so I can see inside of places.
How far away can you cast it? What's the range on it? Is it
1
fairly
mile.
reasonable?
There we go.
1 mile?
Damn.
Yeah,
I
Which
mean,
you're
Yeah, it's-
vaguely familiar with.
yeah, it's pretty good.
It's a good spying spell. It is a 100 gold upfront cost.
Yeah, it's not like it's super expensive.
I feel
No,
like having a
but-
couple of those, a couple
could have-
handy could be good.
We should
yeah.
have
I
it
only
in the
need-
back pocket.
Yeah, I only need
Back
that
on
100 gold once. Then I can cast it however many times I want.
Oh, then yeah, get that. So it's just like you have to have that kind of like my chromatic orb.
Yeah, chromatic orb, identify, those kinds of things. I already have a pearl for identify, so that one's taken care of. trying to think of the ones at Magic Circle. Yes, no.
I feel
Not
like Magic
necessary.
Circle could possibly be useful because nothing can pass through, right?
We've
Once
also
you're on
got
the
the tiny
inside or
hut.
outside.
Yeah, we have the tiny hut.
That's true.
Yeah,
Tiny hut
Magic
would
Circle
do
is Magic
do
Circle would
something.
be a little slightly different, but
Yeah, it's
With
basically
the-
kind of like just for blocking a doorway.
the main thing is with Magic Circle is if you're inside the circle, you cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed.
As long as we have, I feel like going into this area, because we know that there could be some undead, having something that could create barriers that even undead couldn't pass through would be really useful for us. So,
It takes 1 minute to cast. That's the problem.
okay.
And it's 10. 1 minute. Yeah, I was looking at the 10-foot radius. So what are you talking about? It's 10 minutes. No.
And I mean the tiny hut. I have it always on ritual, so that I don't have to use a spell slot for it. So that takes 10 minutes to cast.
And I've got like Spirit Guardians and Guardians of Faith that I can throw down to kind of create barriers. So.
Yeah, I think we're good. I don't think we need.
Okay, so
I
the
just don't
total
want to get possessed.
the total is 1,450 gold.
1,450 gold.
That's not counting non-detection. Do you guys want non-detection?
That what's let me see.
It cannot be scryed on or found by magical means.
Yeah, that's only 25 gold pieces, so we could probably
It's
get enough for the whole
consumable.
party. So that's like what 125.
Yeah, but Tilda already has a
Oh, yeah,
pendant
that's right, you
of
have the ring.
non-detection.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, pendant, not a
Pendant.
ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
So
I mean, it's useful because I can give it to the rest of us. It would be like all my 3rd level spell slots.
Well, when we're going to fight back now.
Right? I don't need the non-detection stuff right now. I just
What's
decided to throw
the-
that out.
I am blanking on what the cleric spell is. It's like it lets you like sort of is that clairvoyance where you could just like send out an eye and you can either see through it or hear through it? Is that
That's Clairvoyance does that, yeah.
okay? All right, that's the one I'm thinking of then.
I think you're thinking of that warlock spell in WoW.
I've never played WoW, so
I also can cast Arcane Eye, which is another one that does the exact same thing.
yeah,
But the Arcane Eye can be moved around. So
but again,
Right.
we've got the eye cage that can. It's basically unseeable and doesn't cost a spell slot.
yeah,
I feel like the only thing that would be a problem for the eye cage, like, is if there's difficult terrain, it can't float or anything. So if there was something where it couldn't roll there, it couldn't get there, right?
I'm
And
not
the-
sure.
the Arcane Eye is like a mouse that can pass through really tiny openings and things, which is the only bonus to it, really.
I was just wondering if we would run into those issues going into this place because it's older, and I thought it might be possibly something where a rolling object might have trouble, but I don't know. We'll have to ask the DM how she wants to do the eye cage rolling over.
well, for
difficult
Arcane Eye,
areas.
it doesn't cost anything. It's just like
Yeah, I
Well,
just
it's just force
I
them
have
to
that one
spell.
prepared. Clairvoyance is good because it has that really large range.
yeah.
So if we ever need to spy on someone, I can do that way.
So, what's up?
Oh, I thought you were still feeding cats.
No, I linked the picture of the ode one. That's what one of them looks like.
Ah, okay. I totally missed that was you. I love that picture. It's great.
We've
That's
been
basically kind
figuring
of
out
what I pictured them to look like.
we've been figuring out costs of stuff.
Cool. All right, so while Nenrine's having this talk, what are the rest of you guys are doing?
Well, when Nenrine is done talking with Alexandria, Zaitari would like to conveniently walk in as Nenrine is walking out and just walk past Nenrine and not acknowledge his presence.
Wow.
Wow.
Um,
I know. Wow. Wow.
First of all, what was the final total of what Nenrine needed?
Discord, please. It was 1,450 gold.
All right.
Yes.
I'll give
and
it to
that-
you, and then I'll be like, see if you can haggle, darling. Do you need me to come
well,
along?
that's not happening.
The Bank of Tilda.
Guess he's got a +0 charisma.
Hey.
Do you need me to come along with you?
I suppose if you would like. You don't have to if you wouldn't like to.
You know what? I need to go shopping anyway.
Okay, suit yourself. And I can explain to you as we're walking, like the exact components that I need and why they're so expensive. Because everything is made of diamonds.
Yeah.
Everything costs diamonds.
Yeah, now back to me. It's diamonds.
Or
But
expensive
while
goblins.
Nenrine was having his talk with Alexandria, I did want to talk to Bryn.
Ooh.
So as I'm still like, I'm just finally making sure that I don't have any wrinkles and that okay, you know.
I'm like, oh, there's a little bit of. Oh, that's just dirt. You're fine. It was just a little dirt. It wasn't a blackhead. You're
Press
good.
to digitate.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Oh, sorry, darling.
Yes.
So, given that we may be leaving the continent soon, I was going to mention this tomorrow, or after you had a rest, but you seem much more chipper now.
I really. Oh yes, very much. I think that I was given what's the opposite of poison, but it still hurts. Whatever that is. I don't know if there's a word for it. Yeah.
Are your pupils dilated more than they should be?
I can see really well. I might be able to see time, actually.
I see. Well, then this might not be a good time to.
Oh no,
Ask,
I'm good. I rub my eyes a little bit. Yeah, yep, I'm good. What's up?
Have you come across anything about the Grecia family crest? I've been. I know I've been looking and haven't found anything. I think Zaitari.
About that. One second. And I open up my pack. Not like I don't have like a bag of holding on me, so I'm just like, okay, wait, hold this, and I pull out the coconut and hand it to Tilda. Okay, hold that. Here we go, and I pull out a letter. I actually just got this from my gram, and there's a I show you that she had a rubbing of so I have a letter that I'd written to my grandmother, and she wrote back, and she said that she found a ring of her mom's and it had a signet on it. What? And there's a little rubbing and there's a puppy on it. Not a puppy, a dog. I'm sorry. And so I think she might have found it for us. I actually I wrote back to see if she could just send me the ring if I sent her a little bit of the money for safe postage. I don't want her to just send it in like a letter. It's got to be at least priority. Yeah. So yeah, I might have. She might have kind of found it. So that's cool.
Well, that's convenient.
Yeah. Oh, let me have that coconut back. Thank you.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yes.
I'm not fond of coconuts anyway, so
they take a lot of work to eat. It's kind of like crab. It's just a lot of work for a meal.
I love crab.
It's so much work.
It is, but well, actually, I wouldn't know. According to our chefs at home, it is, but it's lovely. It tastes so good.
Yeah, it's actually fairly good. I do enjoy a well-cooked meal quite a bit.
So that's all I wanted to talk to Bryn about.
Yep, found the crust. Possibly.
Okay. Zaitari,
Because you mentioned it last session, and I was like, I need to know.
Right.
Which actually, I have a letter that before we leave, I want to send, but it's not obviously going to arrive before then. So I just wanted to mention it so that you knew that I would PM it to you.
Okay. Zaitari, you said you were walking into the dining room as Nenrine was walking out.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you see that when you walk into the dining room, you see that Alexandria is bandaging up her left arm. Looks like there's some blood trickling down. Oh, Zaitari, can I help you? Rap.
She goes up to the table and just kind of like puts her hands on the table like fingers splayed. Yes, actually. I am interested in purchasing some magical items, and I was wondering if perhaps you had them in stock in one of your lovely establishments.
Well, I could definitely sell them to you wholesale. It depends if I have it or not. What you looking for?
Well, two items in particular. I realized in our last battle that we just had today that my defenses aren't quite as impressive as they once were. Mostly, I'm looking for anything that might offer additional protection. I'm quite pleased with the armor that I have, but I can't use shields. So I suppose it would need to be some kind of accessory.
Okay, so improving. I'd have to look through my books. Are you interested in like, I don't know, like a chest armor or something like, ring of protection, or like necklace of protection, something along those lines?
Ring, cloak, necklace, etc., etc. Those would all be perfectly wonderful. Like I said, I am quite pleased with the armor that I have now, unless you think you could turn around improving its defenses in a day before we leave.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's quite possible.
That's probably not gonna happen. I could take a look. I can go to the shop a little later today and take a look at the books, or ring up one of my employees and have him take a look for me. Anything else?
That is pretty much it. I don't know about the rest of us for health potions. I know I'm fine, but we might need a couple more, so if you do just happen to have any on hand, I'm sure we'd be interested in buying them.
Alright, well, I will definitely put that in, and I'm pretty sure we have probably at least some regular potions of healing at the shop that I can grab for you guys. That shouldn't be a problem, since we always make them. They're our hottest commodity.
How long were we told how long we would need to travel to get to this place?
It's near Kuzan, so maybe hold on. Dragon Reach is to the north, so it would take you 1, 2, 3, about 3 days travel.
Okay.
About the same distance as more or less Dragon Reach, give or take 10 or 20 miles.
I would like to just find both Tilda and Raine, and just let them know that I wanted to talk to them at some point this evening at the same time. Not that it needed to be done right at this moment, just find me. And then I want to start working on a little non-magical jewelers project.
Okay.
That is going to be super useful.
Friendship bracelets, right?
Yes, it is. I have a jeweler's kit, but I'm using colorful thread.
Alright, cool.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Alright. Healing potions and any items of protection. I will look into that. Anybody else want to do anything else?
Raine is ashamed of herself for needing to actually go shopping herself. Since I used my oil of slipperiness and I don't have time to craft another, I would like to look for one and possibly a potion of heroism because that's pretty good. I might be getting addicted.
Okay. So if you go back to Bubbling Brews.
I can cast heroism, and I usually have it prepared. By the way, just to let you know.
This is still good to have because it's non-concentration, which is nice. It lasts for a whole hour.
Everything I have is concentration.
If you want to head back to, okay, here's the thing. Do you want to go to buy your supplies from Bubbling Brews or poultices and potions, or potions and potions?
Let's go back to poultry. The other one.
Poultices and potions. Okay. Sounds good. Alright, you get to the store. On hand, they have... Let me take a look. Today in stock. They have in stock...
Today in stock, they have in stock.
Just chicken stock.
Yeah, exactly.
This wonderful chicken stock.
At poultry, poultices, and potions.
They always have a rotisserie chicken. And if there
Nice.
aren't none available, then you can tell them and you get one for free.
Cool.
So they do have a potion of heroism available if you want to pay for it.
It was like 400 gold, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bet.
All right. They also have They also have 3 potions of regular healing. 1 of greater healing. So 3-1, and they also have a potion. Let me see. Okay, they do have it. They also have a potion of speed, but they warn you it's pretty pricey.
Well, at least quote me a price. You never know.
He's willing to let it go for the low price of 5,000 gold pieces.
Oh.
How cute.
They take a while to make.
I'm good.
Okay.
Gotta go slow.
So you're gonna take the heroism?
Yeah.
Okay. Just mark that gold off your sheet. Are you interested in the potions of healing at all?
How much are the potions of healing?
The potion of regular healing are 60 gold per. The potion of greater healing is 120.
There's 3 regular and 1...
One greater.
So that would be a total of 400? I bet, math bet.
120 plus the... So 180. Yes, that would be 300.
Yeah, I'll take it for 300.
Alright, so 3 regular, 1 greater. And that's really all they have stock today that's worth mentioning, unless you want a potion that regrows hair on your head or something.
No. I'll try to swing by the Bubbling Brews really quick just to only see if they have the oil of slipperiness, just because that came in so useful last time. I'd prefer to have one on my person.
They actually do have an oil of slipperiness. That will cost 75 gold pieces.
Do they only have the one?
They only have the one.
Okay. Yeah, that's done, definitely.
Then
So,
she goes to
what
the
else?
baker and just gets a bunch of grease to rub on herself. It's not
Oh, that's
magical,
for later.
it's just slippery.
I don't know why the baker would have that, but
Because he just made donuts? I don't know.
okay, yeah, that's fair. I'll give you that one.
Yay.
Okay, so
Trying to think of something that you baked with grease. I'm like,
anybody else doing anything before Bryn
I
meets
wanted-
up with Raine and
Oh, okay.
Tilda?
again, I wanted to go shopping, and I was going shopping with Nenrine.
Okay, all right. Where
She's
did
going
you guys?
to haggle on my behalf.
Yeah, I
Where
was
did-
gonna
So
haggle.
you guys are looking for spell components, or
Yeah,
yes,
for
for
him.
clairvoyance, revivify, glyph of warding, and divination.
what do those
So-
require?
Mostly diamonds.
Mostly diamonds. All right.
Diamonds and diamond dust.
Diamonds
It
and diamond
says-
dust. Okay.
Yeah, that,
Um,
I'm not even kidding. That's
Oh, wow.
mostly what cleric spells use.
okay. You could probably either go to a wholesale jeweler, or just a magic shop, Ninth Life, or
We gotta go to Jared.
Oh my god.
Would I ever have,
We need
like,
to go
after
see
I-
Elaine.
Ooh.
if I ever, like, worked with jewelry, would I ever have jewel dust afterwards?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I don't
Plenty.
really work with diamonds very often, and I
you
haven't
would
made a
ha-
ton of jewelry,
yeah,
but
you
Do you
would-
have 200 golds worth of diamond dust though?
I doubt it.
Yeah, since you don't work with diamonds too often, probably not.
No, but that's a good idea. We could probably go to a jeweler and just ask for their like remnants.
For their dust.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Revivify, it doesn't have to be whole diamonds. It just has to be diamonds or diamond pieces that equal 300 gold.
Okay. Well,
The
there are.
only one that requires a whole diamond is clairvoyance.
You could go to Diamonds Are Forever, or you can go to the Pearl Necklace. Those are the two
I
jewelers.
feel like diamonds are forever is the better place to look for diamonds.
You may
It's
jack up
calling
the
you
price
guys.
though, because it's their gimmick.
Okay. When you get there, there's an older gentleman. He introduces himself as Oswald, the proprietor of Diamonds Are Forever. And he says, "Welcome. How can I help you, you two today?"
Hello. We are looking for diamond dust or diamond pieces. Or just one large diamond worth about
100 gold.
100 gold.
Yes.
Oh.
Just- As many forms of diamond as you're able to sell us. Honestly, at this point,
Well, I don't have any need for the diamond remnants that I craft from my jewelry. Let me see what I
Excellent.
have in the back, and we can figure out a fair price.
Wonderful, darling.
He goes to the back, past the beaded curtain, and hears some tins being tossed around. About 5-10 minutes later, he comes back with a what looks like a 8-ounce tin can full of dust, diamond sparkly. It looks like diamond dust. It definitely has that sparkly quality to it. And he sets it on the table. Well, thankfully, I haven't cleaned my bench area in a while, so we had a couple piles.
I look at Nenrine. Is this suitable?
He
I was
you know,
asking Nenrine.
he pushes the cup towards Nenrine just to look
Ah,
at it.
okay.
I kind of like swirl my finger through it and pinch it a little bit and like drop it back in and watch it fall.
Okay.
I think this would be suitable for the glyphs. Certainly, I could very easily create glyphs from this. The revivifies, that's a bit more not specific, but it's probably better to not just throw dust in a dead person's face and then try and bring them back to life. It's a quality of life issue with that one, I'm afraid.
I see. I think I might have pieces. Do you need a whole diamond?
You come back, but you have a headache.
You have a headache and your corneas are scratched up and...
Fuck, it hurts.
Pieces, yes. Pieces. I need various for. I need the dust. I need pieces, and then I need diamonds.
Diamonds. All right, I'll be right
Yes.
back. He jogs back, and you hear, "Sweetie, not you, wrong sweetie." Oswald says, "Honey, could you come here for a second? I need those shards you're gonna use in your project." And you hear, a female voice grumbling, and several minutes later, he comes back out. Okay, she was gonna make a collage or something, but he kind of just waves his hands. But I think these will be fine for you. He brings out 1-inch shards that look like they were chiseled off of a larger diamond. And he also brings out a the quality of the diamond that you need. Does it have to be a cut diamond, or is just a regular unrefined diamond okay? Because the unrefined diamond will actually fetch you a cheaper price, since no work was done with it.
I am fairly certain that my goddess does not care about the form of the diamond, like the quality.
Okay. So I have this unrefined diamond right here. It is a low grade, but it is still a diamond. There's a few flaws. I did not really care to work with it, but it's if you and he hands it to you. If you think you can use it, then I can add that to your purchase.
Kind of look it over for a second.
Yeah, it's definitely flawed. It's a diamond for sure, but he's right. It would be very hard to sell it to somebody.
I'm also looking at the. I'll lift up a shard of the diamond shards and kind of check that for clarity.
Okay. The clarity is average, but it should serve its purpose.
Well, this might seem like an odd question. Do you have hearing horns?
Pardon?
Hearing horns, the horns that you put in your ear to help you hear things better.
Yeah.
Yes, hearing horns.
I do not. I can recommend a blacksmith who can probably make you one.
Glass eyes, perhaps?
Tilda's giving you the weirdest look right now.
Oswald is also standing there and blinking. I'm afraid not, ma'am. I'm terribly sorry.
Sir.
Sir. I'm terribly sorry, sir. God damn it, I'm not gonna get used to this. Sir,
I feel like, honestly, just from an RP purpose, this is perfect.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's probably just fine.
It's fine for
Sir,
RP.
I'm sorry. Oh God. Oh good goodness, by the gods. I'm sorry, sir. We do not carry. We do not. But 1 second. And he goes to the back, and you hear, "Honey Bunch, do we carry hearing horns or glass eyes?"
While he's gone, I'm just gonna look at Nenrine and go, "That just knocked about 100 gold off our price."
Yes, I don't need the full-size diamond. I'm using it to lead into the jeweled horn and glass eye. Trickle down. Glass diamond.
I was talking about him, referring to you as a man.
Oh, I know. The large diamond is to frustrate him.
I see.
No, sweetie, I'm sorry. Unless you're looking for the eye of the demon, but it's a ruby. And no, sweetheart, it's fine. And Oswald jogs back out. I'm terribly sorry. We do not carry any glass eyes or hearing horns.
suppose the dust and the shards will have to do then.
And what about the large diamond that's...
It's not. I don't think it's best suited for Ayun's doing.
All right, that's fine. All right, so the dust and the shards, since I have no use for them, and I'm dreadfully sorry for judging, for calling you a woman by accident. I mean 75 gold pieces for the whole lot.
75, you say?
Yes, ma'am.
I lean over to Tilda. I don't care how much we actually spend for it. It just needs to be appraised at a certain total value. Otherwise, the spell will not consume it.
Mm-hmm. I understand your point, yes. I say, out loud. Yes, it is quite poor quality, isn't it?
It's quite a pricey business to bring people back from the dead. Unfortunately, there's no shortcuts for that one. And I'm speaking very lowly so only she can hear me.
Yeah, but I'm speaking just loud enough that the Oswald can hear me, because I'm trying to get a. Oh well, they're not happy with this price.
And I'm already offended.
I suppose I can roll persuasion for me.
Do I get advantage because I'm being helped by Nenrine?
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm like standing up straighter and like puffing out my chest a little bit, trying to be like, I'm a dude. I'm obviously a dude. How did you miss this the first time?
Man. I am a man.
I'm a manly man.
I suppose I can knock the price down to 65. I'm not going to use these components. They really don't have any use for me, and if they're to bring loved ones back from beyond the grave, then who am I to deny you that?
And I whisper in Tilda's ear, loved ones is quite generous.
Listen, darling, I'll say to Oswald,
Yes?
throw in that diamond, and I'm just gonna point to something I like a small piece of jewelry.
Just something
And
off to the side you're not even looking at.
Exactly. And that. And we'll call it a deal. Is there clapping? Is somebody here clapping?
Sorry, I thought I was muted. I've got a stuffy nose, so I've been muted most of the game. And Leia's looking for Kelly. She's very upset.
Oh, that piece? He looks, well, if you'd like to come back and allow me to provide for your diamond needs, then I suppose we can come to that price, yes, with those items. He puts the unrefined diamond back onto the table, and he takes out, from the case, a pair of studded earrings. They're fairly plain. They're just plain small diamond studs. They're probably at most a fourth of a carat. But he puts them on the table.
All right, I'll hand over the gold.
Okay.
And pleasure doing business with you, darling.
Thank you, and come and stop by again.
Now, where can I go to purchase a glass eye?
Or a hearing horn.
Yes, or a jeweled. It must be quite fancy.
Um,
Otherwise, I will not suffer the use of it.
glass eye, glass eye.
Do you have a medical supply store in town?
No, but there is a gentleman in town. He makes religious figures. I know sometimes the fancier ones he uses have these beautiful glass eyes. You could ask him. His name is Marid. He's at Go Figure. And for the horn, jeweled
Hold
horn.
on. He creates statues,
Yes.
and his shop is called Go Figure.
Yes. He thought it was funny too when he first opened up.
Is he
That's clever.
associated with the temple at all, or is he just?
He makes figures of Cord, of Ayun, of Arathis, of Melora, and just sells them for people who want a religious statue in their homes. He gets some of them
Right.
blessed too sometimes.
Okay.
But they do have glass eyes, so that's why I recommended him. The horn, I might not have a jeweled horn. If you go to the pearl necklace, Sirin might have one. I've heard he's been quite productive as of late. So, and he's more of the how do you say, artiste more than I. So, just let Sirin know that I sent you.
I certainly shall, and I do recommend that you begin investing in your visually and hearing impaired customers.
He blinks.
It's quite a shame that you don't already. You're losing quite a bit of business by not being inclusive.
I'm a
It's true, darling.
jeweler.
And deaf
And-
people don't need jewelry?
Or
Well,
blind people.
He just...
You know what, darling? I think it's best that we take our business elsewhere. And
Yes.
we're just like gathering all the things
Okay. He just blinks and
and leaving.
blinks and it's like, have a nice day. And then as the door is closing, you hear, sweetheart, should we be making jeweled hearing horns?
No, don't listen to those idiots.
I'll be losing money.
The answer would be, what? I can't
Exactly.
hear you.
Ew. That's a yes.
Okay. Where are you guys headed first?
Oh, well, that went quite well, I think.
Yes. Should we find a third party to appraise these to make sure they're good enough?
I
Or
think
at least
so.
the proper amounts?
Sure.
I really not enjoy attempting to bring one of you back to life in the middle of the desert, only to find out we're like 20 gold shy. That would be unfortunate.
It would be unfortunate, especially... Yes. No, it would be unfortunate.
So do we want to go figure?
Go figure, or... did we want to go to the pearl necklace? Would, Bryn have spoken to the rest of us about her apprenticeship there?
I don't know. Would Bryn have spoken to you
I
guys?
know, I'm asking...
I'm just repeating.
I was muted again. I told you guys all kinds of stuff just now. I'm sure that over dinner I would have told you stories about my crazy drunk mentor who was doing all kinds of weird shit, I'm sure. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure that I would have mentioned it.
So we can
Can we
go...
phone a friend to Bryn and ask if they do indeed stock jeweled horns before we go there?
You do have... Well, it depends how far you are.
I know, I was about to say, how far are we from the mansion?
Yeah, you're kind of far.
Wait, I thought the jeweled hearing horn was just a joke. You
I did
actually
too.
looking for one?
No,
No.
it's for clairvoyance.
It's for clairvoyance. I wanted the diamond to see if I could get him flustered enough to give us a discount on later items just to get us out.
Oh.
And then he didn't have the things I was banking on him having.
I mean,
Okay.
if you go to somewhere that sells magical items, they probably would have the hearing horn and stuff because it's probably a semi-common requested.
Yeah, I just need
Moment.
one or the other just so I can have a clairvoyance ready to go.
Well, we should go to pick up more diamondy things just in case. I mean, and then we can go look for someone to appraise these things.
Doesn't one of your Bryn, Alexandria mentioned that she makes jewelry. Perhaps
Yes,
she can appraise.
but then we'd have to go all the way back to the mansion.
But then we wouldn't have to pay an appraisal fee.
That is fair. So let's go to the pearl necklace and then go see Bryn. Yes?
I believe that's a great plan for right now.
Wonderful. So off to the pearl necklace we go.
Okay. When the Pearl Necklace isn't too far away from Diamonds Are Forever, and when you get there, there is a gentleman. He has a couple bumps on his face. He looks sober. He looks up from a little knickknack he's been working on, and you try not to stare at the moles on his face.
Oh, right. Okay, I remember that.
Welcome to the Pearl Necklace. He takes a drink from a bottle on the table.
Hello, darling. We are sent by Leyland.
Oh, you're one of Leyland's friends. Oh, great gal. Did you need something in particular that she couldn't make
As
for you?
a matter of fact, we do. We're looking for diamond dust, or shards, or one very large diamond. That is worth 300 gold, I think it was. Or
Depends on what we want to use it for.
just show us all your diamonds,
There's
darling.
many diamonds.
Well,
And any decorative hearing horns you might have.
Yes, those two.
decorative hearing horn. Does the decorative hearing horn need a particular price as well?
I'll know if it's good enough.
Okay. He's like, well, I definitely have, business has been booming lately. So I do have diamond dust and shards that I don't need, so let me go get those. And a large diamond of how much again, ma'am and sir?
I'm too tickled by the fact that he gendered me correctly to answer. Since arriving here, everyone's thought I've been a woman.
Yep. Exactly.
He's sober right now. I've been trying to get him to sober up a little bit.
Ruined everything.
I lean over and I whisper, it could be 300 gold. We can use a single diamond for Revivify if need be.
At least or 300 gold,
300 gold.
or just show us all your diamonds, darling.
Okay.
Just
You're
all
starting
of them.
to sound a little bit like a bank robber. Just throwing that out there.
I have some uncut diamonds as well. So let me grab
Yes.
those.
So diamonds, hearing horns, and on the off chance you might stock them, glass eyes.
That I don't have, but I might have a jeweled horn. Let's see.
All right.
Here, not there, not jeweled sword, no. Jeweled dagger, no. Jeweled cane. God damn it. Jeweled magnifying glass, jeweled horn. Yes. And about 10 minutes later, he comes back with a large box, and he sets it down on the floor, and he begins taking out a what equates to 2 cups of diamond dust, a fistful of diamond shards, several diamonds that are ranging from uncut, unrefined to already cut, ready to be set into a piece of jewelry. and a horn, a small horn. The outside of the horn is decorated with amethyst and garnets, and you see a few
No pearls?
emeralds here and there. No pearls.
If I give the horn a quick glance over, can I guesstimate how much it's worth?
Feeling the weight of
Could
it.
I?
Feeling the weight of it, you think it might be worth. Make an investigation check.
I mean, I could also channel my divinity and gain my instant proficiency in jeweler's tools.
You could do that.
I want to channel Ioun's divinity to understand the size of this hearing horn.
Well, if you could do that, why do we even need Bryn?
Make her feel included in this.
Okay, that's fair.
You and I can just know everything.
You guesstimate through your channeling, probably 120.
Okay, that's perfect.
I'm really upset that it has garnets and amethyst, but no pearls.
I give Tilda a very subtle nod at the in regards to the horn.
I understand where you're coming from, by the way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do. Anyway, so we've talked about it before. So what sort of other diamonds and stuff they have? I'm sorry.
Right.
Uh,
So 2 cups worth of diamond
2
dust.
cups worth of dust.
A fistful of diamond shards. And there are about 5 diamonds of various stages of being cut. And he says, yeah.
How are the clarities on these diamonds?
The cut diamond is of exquisite quality. It's very clear. You don't see any cracks or blemishes within the diamond itself. The the unrefined diamond's a little harder to check for quality because it's uncut, so you can't really see through it very well. But as far as you can tell, there are no like dark spots within that diamond itself.
How much would you want for this? I ask as I'm holding it up to the light,
The
like
cut?
looking through. Yeah, the cut one.
The cut one, I would probably, and since you guys know Leyland, 100.
How much would you want for how much would you really, really want? For this, the diamond dust and the shards.
I would just give you, since you know Leyland, I'd give you the shards and the dust for free if you buy the diamond for 100.
Wonderful. Deal.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm going to be able to make so many glyphs. This is a lot of diamond dust.
I mean,
Just
worst comes to worst. We can also grind up that other diamond that was crappy.
Yeah, we can just
Diamonds
make
Are
our
Forever.
dust, or just break
And
it
make
up
more
into
dust.
shards.
Yeah, see?
Just a perpetual diamond mill.
Just tell Leyland I said hello.
Will do. What's your name?
Saren.
Saren, yes. We will absolutely do so. She's been telling us many stories about... I'm going to look around. Is there anyone else working there?
Nope, there isn't anybody else working there currently.
I presume you.
Thank you. He pauses for a moment and he looks at you. You know, your eyes are a very lovely shade.
Ooh.
I'm not trying to. Hold on.
Well,
He
thank you, darling.
he goes behind the counter, and he pulls out a very fashionable a fashionable pin, made to look like a bluebird. And he says, I would dare say that it matches this pin, quite well. If you're interested in this piece.
Oh. um, I presume it's a nice piece.
It's a very
Like,
nice piece.
yeah.
The eye of it is actually made from a black pearl.
Oh. Oh,
And since
Tilda's working really hard not to look like
since
not to drool.
and since you're one of Leyland's friends, I'll let it go for 10 gold pieces.
Deal.
Okay. He hands you the pin.
That's from my personal funds. I just hand him a platinum piece, like, honestly.
Thank you.
And it's 100 from... Okay. Well, thank you for all of this. This is lovely.
Oh, you can thank your friend. She
It's totally cursed, isn't it? Like, out of character, it's fucking cursed.
You can thank your friends. She's been getting me out of my my slump.
Well, I think we are done here for today. Thank you for all this. We will certainly tell Leyland that you said hello. Wonderful doing business with you, darling.
You as well. Have a nice day.
I slip the hearing horn into my pocket.
Oh,
Immediately.
Shit, we didn't pay.
That's fine. How much was this hearing horn?
It is for you 110.
Sure.
All right.
I'll just give that out of my pocket.
Are you sure?
Yeah, why not?
Is that a hearing horn in your pocket? Or are you happy to see it?
oh, damn it! Beat me to it. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!
Yeah, while haggling was going on, I went ahead and looked ahead at 5th level spells, and I apologize now. Shit's expensive.
We should just get you a goddamn magical focus.
No, this is stuff that consumes.
It consumes.
Yeah.
Like, if I want to hallow ground, it's 1,000 gold worth of stuff that gets consumed. If I want to planar bind anything, it's 1,000 gold of stuff that gets consumed.
If you want
Raised Dead, Greater Restoration, Legend Lore. They all consume stuff. The only ones that don't is half of Legend Lore and then Scrying. Everything else just eats up hundreds of gold.
I mean, at that point,
Clerics
you've
are
got a lot of
expensive.
gold, though.
I guess that's why there's no like high-level clerics. None of them can afford it.
Clerics are expensive. Yeah. Hollow is a great spell, or Hallow is a great spell. Takes 24 hours to cast, and it's expensive as fuck.
No, it's hollow. It just makes it just digs
It
in.
empties
It's
everything.
just make things holy.
Yeah, it's
Holy,
it empties
holy,
out.
get it?
Yeah.
It empties out
Because
your
once you have
wallet.
like a permanent base, Hallow is something that would be really good to happen if you want to blow 1,000 gold and have me just walk around in a trance for 24 hours.
Sure.
It'll be great. I'll take
All
a
right.
point of exhaustion to cast the spell.
All right. So I think we go back to the mansion, find Bryn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Oh, wait.
All right. Have you brought Raine too?
You know what? It'll be funnier this way. As we're going back. Damn it! I forgot what I wanted to... I wanted to go shopping too.
If you want, I can take the diamonds and go back and you can do your shopping. I don't mind. Or I can accompany you. If you want a second opinion, is it outfits? Is it shoes?
It's not shoes, although if you do want to go shoe shopping someday, I would love to have you along. It is actually, in fact, armor. I was looking
Armor?
Yes. Oh. You know, it's fine. It's fine,
I
darling.
have my old scale mail. Would you like that?
No, not particularly.
I'm assuming you'd like a breastplate as well.
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Yes. Perhaps they have some at the manor.
It's possible.
Alexandria seems the type to kind of collect. I'm sure there's one somewhere.
Yes, that's fair. Yeah, let's go. Yes, it's fine.
We're gonna go and just dump a bunch of diamond dust into Bryn's lap.
Yeah.
How much is it worth?
Alright, you guys get back and find Bryn. Somewhere. I don't know where she is.
Bryn!
I'm in my room working on a project that I want
Bryn,
to work on.
darling!
Hello?
Okay, you've come. Where's Raine?
Not with me.
Oh. I thought you were going to bring yourself
Nenrine?
Hello?
Hello.
Are you
said
drunk?
we could talk later.
Yes, that's fine. What's up?
We'd like you to appraise these things and pull out all the diamond dust and shards.
Shards and just
diamonds. Oh, and by the way, your mentor says hello.
Oh, that's nice.
And gave me this lovely pin.
Was he sober?
He was the first person I've met since coming here who thought I was a man.
Oh. Was he sober, though?
He seemed sober.
Apparently sober.
Like I said, it was important whether or not he was sober.
He's got a bit of a problem. What do I have to do to appraise them?
Make an investigation check. You're a jeweler, so it would be advantage for you.
Advantage or
proficient?
Proficient. Which one?
Proficient.
Ugh.
We bought all these things so that if we die, and not me, if you die, I can bring you back to life. If I die...
What's our proficiency right now?
That's unfortunate.
3. 3. 3. Plus 3.
So B plus 1, D20 plus 4. Ugh. Well, I'm trying. I only have a plus. Wait, that doesn't seem right. I have a plus 1 intelligence, and then plus, so 1D plus 4.
Okay.
You couldn't just roll it in the skills?
No, because I'm not proficient in investigation.
Yeah, but you could have changed the
Yeah, I guess I could have. Also,
sorry,
I'm gonna write appraisal right here.
The diamond dust you think is
Jesus.
It's hard because it's diamond dust. By weight, it should be maybe 400 gold pieces. It's a lot of dust.
It's a lot of dust, guys.
It's a ton of dust.
A lot. You could make so much just glitter. But, I mean, assuming you want to not do glitter stuff, then, like, 400 goldish?
We're aiming for a couple glyphs of warding, so 400 gold works perfectly.
Cool, yeah. I think that's what it is. Like, I'm gonna be honest, appraisal, not my strongest suit in the jewel thing. I just, I've mostly been working on hands-on stuff.
Well, no pressure on this one, but the shards will quite literally keep you alive. So...
no pressure
as long as
there.
they're worth enough. I want to emphasize, I don't want to be out there with not enough diamond shards to revive someone if it comes to that.
another roll for the other items, or
You can
Same
use
roll.
another roll if you want.
I made this roll.
There we
so it's the
go.
+4.
All right.
Okay.
The pressure worked.
The
Well, the first roll was
shards.
a
There,
10.
there was a fistful, and then there was that.
It's a 10, folks.
About 600.
I'd say this is worth about 600 gold.
Okay, that's 2 revivifies. We can collect
Excellent.
more shards along the way, or we can always try and destroy another diamond and just turn that into shards.
Less
It's fun just to throw shards on things. I can use a whole diamond. I'm not saying it has to be shards. It's more fun to just kind of sprinkle shards upon a dead person and then bring them
We
back
do
to life.
have
It's more entertaining for them when they come back. You see.
we do have some diamonds and other sorts of gems in the group funds, the party funds.
And it has to be diamonds for revivify. That is the one kind of crux.
Hold on a moment. I'm gonna go into my bag of holding, kind of search around, pull out the fist-sized diamond that I believe we got in the when we were rescuing the kids from those bird guys.
Oh yeah.
That thing's been passed around
Raine
a lot.
found it, and then she gave it to Bryn, who I think gave it to me, and to put it into the group funds. Yeah, so I think we're covered.
We will have to break that up, and if it's for something like revivify, I need to have it on my person, so I can cast it readily without having to search through your bag of holding or ask for you to get it.
I just hand it. I offer it to him.
Fantastic. And then I immediately turn to Bryn. Do you have the materials necessary to break this into tinier pieces?
I think so. I would assume I would for having the jeweler's kit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something this large is worth more than just a single revivify, and I don't want to use this for one.
Yeah, apparently a
That's ego
fist-sized
based.
diamond is advertised at 70 million.
Oh,
That dollars, not gold.
still.
I totally missed it. What? 70 million?
Yeah, there was a 1,100 carat diamond about the size
Yeah.
of a fist that's worth
Oh,
auction off.
yeah.
It was
70.
not valued at that much when I gave it away. Let's put it that way.
What was it valued at?
I would have been like, "Fuck you all. See you later. I'm out."
Like, do we know the value of this rock?
Oh, the rock.
Actually, hey, appraising it. I'll appraise it. You can do that. Oh.
Well, all I know is when I was given the value, it was in the triple digits. So I'm like,
It's about worth 1,000 gold.
Okay,
Ooh.
so I could make it into like a couple 300. How much does it need to be worth for Revivify?
About
300.
300.
If you break it into 4 pieces and just have one tiny chunk, we can toss it into the diamond shard pile.
Okay, I'll work on breaking that up.
So that's 5 revivifies
Anything else?
we'll have ready to go.
Good, one for each of us.
Or we save it till later and we can use it as an actual resurrection.
Oh, actually,
Do we want to bank it for that long?
Well, we can see what happens.
I can also use that to plan on buying something or purchase a scrying object.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I feel like it would be easier to find the smaller diamonds than to find a large one. We might want to keep this one large.
Okay.
If other spells require a big old honking gem.
I will just keep that one listed as a fist-sized diamond then.
Yep, that's what it was in the group in my inventory. So, one fist-sized diamond. Kind of sad that I sold that ginormous one that oh my god, Michelle.
Oh yeah, the Astro Diamond? Yeah. I remember that.
Gave us. That was a fucking honking huge one.
Oh my god. Yes.
Okay.
Two.
So does Alexandria have information
Yeah, at this point
does
she would
know?
have some info. Alright, so if you're looking for cloaks of protection, there is one available at the shop.
Ooh.
So she has the cloak of protection, which is +1. She also has for there. These are nice if you're not wearing gloves. She mentioned she has bracers of defense. They're a little more. They're a little pricey at wholesale, but they're still like worth. They're +2 to armor.
I think you like. I was looking at those in the DMG, and you have you
It requires attunement.
I think it's only if you're not wearing any armor.
Mm.
So it's like it's good for
right.
spellcasters and barbarians, basically. But believe me, I'd love them, but they're not good for me because I do wear armor.
Right.
Yes, +2 bonus to AC if you're wearing no armor and using no shield. So.
Okay. I did not see that.
No, it's okay.
Hey, we can do your rolls. We're not gonna.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they're just +2 bonus to AC. Hey, yeah, take them.
I mean, Raine's gonna try to steal them from Zaitari if that happens, but.
So she has the cloak. She has the. There's also an amulet +1 as well. It works the same way as the cloak. There's also a ring. She's looking through like the list that they provide her. There's.
By the way, I'm just throwing this out there. I have a protection that I'm considering unattuning. So I need judgment. And I'm kind of attuned out, so.
What are you attuned to?
Pearl of Power, Cloak of Protection, and the Amulet of Non-Detection.
Oh, okay.
At the moment.
It's a good lineup.
It is.
Well, I got a cool hammer, guys. I gotta.
You gotta take it, man.
I know what I did on the magic item thing is I just put in italics what I'm attuned to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
I'm
there
at least about
can
one.
you double up on protection items? Like
yes, you can
if
double
I-
up on protection items in this edition.
Okay, so if I borrow or get to use Tilda's Cloak of Protection, I would definitely be interested in the Ring of Protection. And then I will be attuned out because I have the Head of Disguise and the 2 protection items.
You don't have to attune to your swords?
It didn't say.
I need to get me some magic items.
Oh no, yep, it requires attunement. Haha. Ignore that. Yes.
I thought I put attunement in there.
No, yeah. I totally missed it. Wow. Okay.
As long as we're
I'm just
clarifying,
yeah, I'm just super duper blind.
Neither of mine said they required attunement either, so that might be an issue because otherwise I have 3 attuned items plus weapons.
Hellfire's an attunement? Confused.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying if it maybe didn't get mentioned. I don't have Hellfire or the Kroll Blade as attuned items listed as attuned items. So
Yeah. Kroll doesn't say
Kroll
it's
doesn't.
attuned.
I just want to make sure I'm not like got far items here.
Are you attuned to the Ring of Free Action?
Have a ring of free action.
Hellfire does require attunement.
Okay, so I have to use something then. The Ring of the Ram, I suppose. I'll just keep it in my pocket. Would anyone like a Ring of the Ram? Pretty nice. Pretty handy, actually.
Yeah, it's something to keep around, but
Yeah, it's probably good situationally. If we know we're going into a situation where we might have to practice siege techniques.
Or,
Like
if you
a
want to
fortress.
throw someone into lava.
yeah. Or off a boat.
Just don't give it to me because my history, I'll just squander it.
I think the eye cage requires attunement too, so I think I accidentally used it without.
Let's see. I'm looking through it.
I know. I'm trying to find.
I don't see
Hmm.
attunement.
Yeah, no, me neither. I thought it was attuned.
I'm
But
pretty sure the
apparently
eye
not.
cage is an attunement. Is not attunement. Sorry.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well then-
I would imagine that it wouldn't be, just because I don't know, just because the way it functions, I guess.
Mm-hmm. All right. Awesome. Awesome possum.
All right. How much is the ring of protection?
The ring of protection is at wholesale. In this part of the world. It's considered. Wow. It's considered. She says normally I'd sell it for 500. I can sell it for you for 400.
I will take it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I have listed my attuned items, so.
Yes,
Okay. Oh, and that's right. Any fancy healing potions? Like better than just regular?
I only have regular in stock right now. I've been actually, and this isn't. I've been actually sending them off to my sister to help her with the Leonin issue. She's has some people working under her that need them, so I'm kind of tapped out of anything better than regular right now.
Oh, yes, of course, very understandable. Well, besides that, I think we are fine. I know I'm fine on regular healing potions, at least. I don't know about the rest. But I will let them know that we do have some healing potions that we can access from you, at least.
Okay. Yeah, just let them know, and like I said, charge them wholesale. No problem. Okay. So Bryn, did you want to talk to Raine and Tilda?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm thinking like evening time. I would like to find you guys after I've worked on. I would like to make 2 items. One, I would like to make a slap bracelet. Well, like I would like to make like 2 slap bracelets. I have a reason for this. 2 slap bracelets. Could I make that in a day?
Yeah, you can definitely make a slap bracelet in the day.
All right. I'm gonna make.
I
2
was right.
bracelets. I'm gonna make
Friendship
2
bracelets.
slap bracelets, and it needs to be a slap bracelet. I don't think it's that hard to make. It's basically just a piece of metal. And then I want to make like 3 little like heavy iron coins. Just not cool looking really, just really just looks like a coin kind of the size, but maybe a little bit heavier than a standard coin.
Yeah, easily. Just beating
Alright.
some metal down for a bit. Yeah.
All right. So then I'm gonna find these. I'm gonna find Tilda and Raine. And honestly, anyone else who wants to be in on this conversation is fine with that. But I need specifically require Tilda and Raine. And anyone else who can cast a 4th level spell is free to join in.
I'll come.
All right. So I come down and I
Tilda
am
would have been
so excited.
with her new mace, by the way. That's where you would have found her. Is
Tilda, stop hitting things for 1 second. Come here.
oh, what?
You're doing a great job, by the way.
I'm
I mean,
trying.
You can tell you're a bit new, but that's okay. It comes with time. I mean, I can hit things with a sword now. It's pretty cool. Okay, so, and I lay out my slap bracelets and the coins. If you're not aware of these, this is called a slap bracelet. I know that it's and
I'm feeling
and
very
then-
nostalgic for some reason.
I whack it onto Tilda's arm, and
Ow!
It's not hard. Just you got to get that little bit of a whack for it to get on you. See how it just dunk and it's on, right? But then I pop it off. All right, so here's my idea. You know how the magpie does that really annoying "oop, now I'm here, oop, now I'm not" nonsense?
Yes.
You are able to cast a dimensional anchor, correct?
Yes.
And if the item has been anchored, whoever is holding that item can't whoop, 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 whoop all over the place like a ridiculous, I don't know what.
Right.
And then
Technical?
it is, it's very technical. I should teach spell classes. And so I pull out the coins and the slap bracelets. Okay, so here's the idea. Slap bracelets and coins. When we see the magpie again, you cast Dimensional Anchor on one of these items, whichever you want to do. You give it to Raine. Raine, you take either a slap bracelet and just put it on her, or take a coin and just drop it in one of her pockets, and then she can't out of the place. And it's a guaranteed hit because we're not going to cast it while she's wearing it. So, you take a slap bracelet, whoop, Dimensional Anchor on it, give it to Raine. Raine takes it, puts it on the magpie, then we just hit her until she dies.
Might I make a recommendation for this wonderful plan?
Yes, sure.
A very strong adhesive on the slap bracelet so she can't remove it.
Oh. Raine, you've
Yes,
been
but
brewing
then
potions.
how-
Can you make glue?
How would it
Sure.
not be sticky when it's not in a...
Yeah.
It's in like a bag. I mean, if it's in
You
a
would-
bag of holding...
It would
then
have to be applied
I've
in the process
seen
of
this.
attacking.
I have seen this item where it's sticky, but then there's a piece of paper on it, and you just pull that piece of paper off, and then you stick it in your underwear.
You know, I do wonder what they taught you in your particular caravan for you to get these wonderful ideas.
You
I
know,
wonder what they taught you. That is.
it was a very open school.
Oh,
I was thinking of just like dipping the end into some glue just before slapping it on her.
It's
I mean,
not
I
the
guess you
worst
could do
idea
that
we've
too.
ever had.
It's
I
a
feel like-
wonderful idea. We just need to ensure that she can't remove it.
Do we have any sovereign glue?
Well,
That's what I'm thinking.
see, that's the one thing I was thinking with Raine applying it is because Raine is pretty fucking sneaky. If you cast it on this metal coin, and just put it in one of her pockets, you might be able to do it in such a way that she doesn't know about it.
I'm good, and I would be more than willing to try it, but the magpie is legendary.
Yeah, but who
but we
expects
have greater
to be reverse
invisibility.
pickpocketed with a freaking cursed coin? That's not something you expect in the middle of battle.
When you've encountered her, has anyone been successful in striking her with an arrow or bolt?
That's very specific, and I can't remember right now.
Yeah.
I've only
Because
encountered her, I think, once.
The only one
my
we
thought
hit.
process is
Well,
this:
okay.
if you can cast it on metal, if you're able to devise an arrow, for example, that can be shot into her and then splinter or expand upon contact, so that it is rooted within her very flesh, with this dimensional anchor cast on it.
Well, that is something I could talk to Deekin about constructing.
It's a bit nasty, but it's much harder to remove something that is a part of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
And in
definitely
that-
something Deekin could construct.
In
so.
that sort of vein, I could just cast Dimensional Anchor at her,
Yes, absolutely. She
and therefore it will affect her without any of the
my worry
middleman.
my worry is that we'll run into her slipperiness.
Does she have the ability to counterspell and dispel magic?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, knowledge is power. If we can keep it hidden from
Honestly,
her.
This is something that I just thought would be an idea if it were to become an option. I thought that I would just maybe give you guys each a slap bracelet and this weird coin thing. I made them kind of heavy so that if you were to drop it in a coin pouch, it would even sink to the kind of the bottom and be even harder to find. So honestly, this is just like, if it happens to be available, you guys have the tools to apply it to her person without casting the spell at her, since she has, you know, done counterspell before. So, you know,
It's a very sound plan.
Yes, I think it's a wonderful idea.
How does the dimensional ankle work, Tilda?
Yes.
if you don't use the word womp during your description, it's not scientific. So keep that
I
in
mean,
mind.
I can cast it too. I do have access to 4th level spells.
It says the ray automatically hits objects that are not being worn or carried. So, but it's meant to be a ranged attack against a target.
DM,
Yes.
if something is, if you're holding it in your hand, can you cast Dimensional Anchor on it without? I mean, I realize that's worn or carried, but
Hmm.
I mean, I think the intent.
Yeah, I would have to like throw it. at Raine.
I'm not touching you.
I mean, you could also drop it on
Yeah,
the
you
ground.
could probably drop it on the ground and then just hit it with it.
Well, I mean, but then Raine would have to come all the way over to me, pick it up.
And slap
Hey,
it on the...
You could just throw it toward me.
Something-
I can catch a coconut, guys. I mean,
This is
come on.
something that we could also
I don't
consider.
want you to, but you can't catch it. It can't be carried.
If we know where the magpie is going to be and we're planning on encountering her in person and we're already anticipating this, there's something I can work on for a while, creating a spell scroll specifically to give to Tilda so that she can create a glyph of warding with dimensional anchor stored within it.
Oh.
So she can trigger it.
That is a fantastic idea.
And we can use the stealthiness and the cleverness of this group to hide the glyph. And it can be triggered by a specific person entering the area. So
that would be
That's
wonderful.
not a bad idea.
it
I just-
would
Is it
require me
possible?
creating a spell scroll to give to you for you to learn. Because you have to have the spell prepared to cast. And it has to be from you, the glyph itself.
Well, the slap bracelets might not have necessarily worked out, but I think we've all had a fantastic planning and strategizing session whenever we have to deal with the magpie next.
Yeah.
I will need time to prepare a spell scroll if we want to go down that route, and we do have to have forewarning of where she will be because it takes an hour to prepare the glyph.
But honestly, this is something that we might, even if we don't decide on it right now, if we just think about it for when we have to do the protection mission.
It'll be worthwhile for you to have a glyph of warding anyways. As many people who can cast the glyphs, the better. It's a wonderful protective tool.
Is Glyph of Warding something that I could put into my spellbook? Or
Yeah, you can copy it right off the spell scroll. And then the spell scroll gets destroyed once you copy off of it.
right, yes, I know that much, but
But I mean, is it a wizard spell?
is it a wizard spell?
It is.
Awesome.
Bard, clerics, and wizards can learn it. It's a 3rd level abjuration. And that is the one that requires the 200 gold worth of powdered diamond. Powder.
It's like you make it's like Supernatural. Instead of making a salt circle, you're making a diamond dust circle.
We need like a gunpowder keg of nothing but diamond dust.
I actually always thought they should just take hula hoops and fill them with salt. That way the ghost can stop blowing the salt away.
Yeah.
That's-
Oh, God.
Oh, that would break the plot, though.
Yeah.
If Tilda's interested in learning Glyph of Warding, I can begin the process of creating a spell scroll for that.
Oh man.
Yeah, sure, that sounds good. I guess.
You can prepare any of your wizard spells in it too. You can store any 3rd level or higher spell in it to be triggered.
Right.
If you have any that are good for that.
Blight, 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 blight.
Just all the blight.
Eventually.
So it says on that if the spell requires concentration and lasts to the end of the full duration, that's where it could start getting broken if you know where you're going to be fighting somewhere, you know?
Yeah. It also can get pretty nasty pretty quick.
Oh, since we're all here, do we need any more healing potions? Alexandria says that she has a decent stock of regulars. We can.
Oh,
buy
I
off of
definitely
her.
think we need healing potions.
I don't think. Did I drink one during our last fight? I don't think that I did.
It's hard to remember. It was 6 hours of fighting.
Yeah. I don't have one in my inventory though, so I would guess that I must have either not had one or drank it. So
I personally have 3 regular healing potions. I really don't think I need quite that many. I could give one to other people, but as I said, Alexandria does have some to buy wholesale.
The other thing I thought of with the magpie real quick is push comes to shove, I can try and curse her and make her more vulnerable to whatever you guys want to do to her. That is another
That's useful.
option. Not as cool as dimensional anchor just exploding out of the ground the second she comes within range, but
I also like the idea of using a slap bracelet as a weapon, so that's a thing too.
with some sovereign glue on
We'll
it,
figure
it'd
out
be a
some
nightmare.
way.
Oh, we're gonna definitely use this for something. They exist. So,
Now.
yeah. I like how Bryn basically invented the concept of slap bracelets.
And pogs.
And pox.
And bugs, yes.
Not a pog, a slammer.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Does it have some sort of alien from Melmac on one side?
It has a picture of Sonic on it. I don't know what it means. It's a strange artisanal hedgehog. Who knows from where?
Okay. All right.
just
Slap
happened.
bracelets. Pogs. All right. Cool.
That it turns out we didn't really need.
We may need them. We never
I
know.
like the idea.
I never know. If
I
you
definitely
need-
like the idea. I just
Also, it is something where, like, if we're sneaking and we're like, oh, hey, we can see her down the hallway, we could always, prepare something like that. We're like, all right, first we cast Dimensional Anchor on a slap bracelet, then we make Raine invisible, and then Raine just slap bracelets her. Like, whenever we have time to prepare, we could do something interesting.
An immediate use for the discs that I just thought of is an endless supply of ammunition for catapult. Just have a single disc that just gets chucked around wildly.
When I did my one shot, I gave our wizard catapult, and
It's the best decision you can
accidentally
make.
he just did I love the person who played it. He was just doing the weirdest stuff, just trying to see what would happen. And so there was this giant pool of blood, and he was like, oh, here's a book. He's like, I don't know what's in it though, do I? I was like, nope, you don't know Abyssal. And he was like, I am going to read a passage from it, cut my hand, and toss the blood and the book in this pool of blood. And I was like, it's a terrible idea. And so I rolled a D100. Anything above or anything below a 20 was just going to outright kill him, because who does that shit? And he got like an 80, and I was like, you just summoned a crawling claw for yourself, because there were a bunch all over this dungeon. And he was like, I have a pet hand.
Oh God.
And so then, like, 5 seconds later, they open a door, and there's just a skeleton. It's just the base is a skeleton. There's nothing interesting. All they have to do is punch it in the face. And he's like, I'm going to cast catapults, but with the hand as the ammo. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to stop you, but, you know that the catapult does damage to whatever you throw too, right? And he's like, I'm sure it'll be fine. They only have 2 hit points, but he didn't know that. So I was like, and your hand is dead. And he was like, no. He was so sad. Because he punched it in the face with a crawling claw.
It's like poor man's Big B's hand.
It really was. Sorry for the off-topic story. I just thought you guys would enjoy that.
Hey, it was entertaining.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Okay. Anybody else doing anything else tonight? Okay.
I guess I'm just continuing to kind of practice the main,
Cool.
and then say goodbye to Theo.
All right.
Give him his ring.
I'll talk to Alexandria about some magic items that came to my mind while we were out shopping, but I'll just send that to you after the game
All right.
so we don't have to waste time here.
When you head to bed, Nenrine,
Oh no.
Nada is actually just leaving. Well, Nada leads you to your new bedroom, upstairs, and on your bed, there looks like there's a letter. Well, there's a letter, and it looks like there's something on top of your bed which is wrapped in a white linen cloth.
I kind of circle my bed suspiciously a couple times, and then I pick up the letter.
All right, the letters from Alexandria. It pretty much says, "I'm sorry about the extremely rough day you had today. This was gonna be somebody else's, but I think it will do you good as well. And I'm gonna show you this."
Oh yes, secondhand magic items.
Alright. You should see it appear since I gave you permissions. It should be at the top.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
And yes, the ultimate does work for any.
Any.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So if
It has to be aimed at me, right? Or just
yes,
any.
this one,
there.
this one specifically, when the ultimate activates, it has to be a spell directed to you.
Okay.
But
Cool.
the level doesn't matter.
All right. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it?
Thank you, power word kill.
We'll see how it
Means
works out for
nothing to
you.
me.
All right, so you guys go to bed. Well, hang out with your. Well, I guess it's only Theo since Tegan's not around right now. Had to go. Had to do things.
Zaitari goes and finds Nenrine's bedroom.
Oh
Hello.
God, no. No. That would be so wrong.
And Deacon eventually comes back from the orphanage. He is dead tired, and he falls asleep in one of the sitting rooms. Just doesn't care. Just plops down.
Cool. So, dearest, we're going to be leaving tomorrow. The group, that is, not you and I, we.
Ah.
So, oh, and, Bryn gave me these things. One's for you, one's for me. Apparently, it will, keep warm as long as, the other is breathing. It will get cold if, we're not breathing.
I see. That's very kind of her, actually.
Kind, morbid, but kind. Yes.
It's the commoners have a saying. It's the thought that counts.
Yes, that's true.
Supposed to be heartening. Yeah.
The commoners.
It's like, yeah, it's the thought that counts. Quite. Very quaint
Cheerio.
gift. Very quaint gift from that fine lass, Bryn. I shall make good use of this in the future. As he puts it away, never to be touched.
No, he'll definitely wear it. May I? So where are you headed this time?
We are headed north. Yeah. It is, I don't want to worry you.
Well, I'm going to worry about you, no matter where you go. But, you are a very capable woman, so I worry considerably less. If that makes you feel better. But I actually have something to ask you. So, well, how long will you be gone?
I believe Alexandria said about... That was what she said, right?
You cut out just before you said how long you were.
Oh, I'm sorry, a week and a half.
Okay. Because Angela wanted to take me and Iskin out for a few days. On a ship. Not too long. He says it's part of training. I told him a couple concerns I had about what's happening back at home, and I think he wants to try to prepare me for what I might have to do. His training is quite unorthodox. Generally just consists of him beating the bejesus out of the both of us. But we're getting less hurt each day.
Sounds a little like, Angelo's training methods are about the same as Alexandria's when teaching old magic.
Ah, I see. Well, it must run in the family, I suppose.
It must.
Yeah. You...
Do you want to go back?
I do. I do. We will be going soon, because I've been hearing... Okay. Alright. Do you have an estimation on how soon?
I want to be there within the month.
Okay. Then there's one more thing I want to ask. So you know my friends, Pierre and Francois. Part of the Huberts.
I've heard of them, yes, and I know them, yes. Are they... Hang on, I just really wanted... Are they, Hebert or Hebert?
Hubert, yeah.
Hubert?
Yeah.
Okay, so... Was their family mentioned in the letter? From one hand,
yeah,
counts...
I believe they were.
Lumber production?
Yes, I believe they were.
Okay. Alright, then yeah.
He continues. I don't want you to be upset, but I've sent a letter to them within the last month to just make sure they were doing okay. and they told me something very odd. And I've known them since I was, we were toddlers.
Of course.
Their father is acting very strange. He's been going
Out into the woods.
not
And-
the woods, but out at strange hours in the evening. They were afraid that he may have been seeing another woman. But it seems to be like he's meeting somebody. To talk about other things. I don't know why he's doing it in the middle of the night. They're a little worried, and I wanted to ask you if you knew anything about this possibly, because I know you've been trying to dig up information yourself.
Yes, I meant to share this with you. And I'll give him a one-hand letter.
Okay, he'll read through it quickly, and he says, "Not them two. Seems to be my region, especially. That makes sense."
Yes, I noticed that. But look, the Etiennes, they're in there too, so
But
it might not just be.
it could just be, and he just glances at the note again. It could be the he's targeted the very conservative nobles that don't want change. You know how Queen Victoria is trying to get more power to the common folk.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't want anything to happen to them. I don't know if I should tell them to leave or not, or just to stay and act like everything's normal. Or I don't think they would turn against me. We've known each other for so long. I'm not sure what to do. I mean, they could be good allies. They are knights in training. They could help us, but if they are, I don't think they would be working with their father.
But if they are,
Then
Yes.
it could be dangerous. I think I need to talk to him when I get back to Leona. Like, meet them in a location and see what their intentions are. I know it sounds like a horrible idea, but I don't
no, I think you're right.
want to fight my friends.
I don't want to fight any of these people, to be honest. But this isn't right.
No, it's not.
And the Dawn brothers are clearly up to something.
We'll find out. But in the meantime, you should stay safe. You will be safe. You are resourceful and resilient. You always were. And look at
Come
me.
on, darling.
And look at me complaining to you about just getting my behind handed to me by a single person day in day out, while you go out into God knows where, fighting monsters and whatnot, and I complain about this tiny nobleman just kicking mine and Iskin's asses. But sorry. Tiny nobleman slap fight.
Yeah.
Slap, slap. But yeah, we need to figure out who our allies are once we get back.
I agree. Do you want to go ahead to Leona ahead of our group, so you can see for yourself. Get the lay of the land, as it were.
If I returned to Father right now, he would watch me like a hawk. I think I better just go with all of you. And when we're all together in the same place, maybe it'll be safer because it's in numbers to meet with Francois and Pierre with some...
Back up.
Yes, exactly. Are you going to see your family when we get back?
Yes.
Okay.
There are things that need to be discussed with Father about Rosamond, about me, about you. And I think it's... I can't keep running from it. And we're never going to have what we want unless something changes.
Agreed. You know I'll be by your side no matter what happens.
Well, of course I know that, Molly. I mean, you've been a thorn in my side for most of my life, and then became less of a thorn, more of a very pleasant sort of sensation.
He just kind of he chuckles at that, and then he goes in to kiss you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fade to black.
In the morning, unless anybody else wants to do anything.
Wait, I missed a slap fight?
No.
Oh.
Nah, Theo was just complaining that compared to what Tilda was doing, all he's been doing is getting his ass handed to him by Angelo.
And I didn't miss something like the other item that I made or anything, right?
No.
Cool.
In the morning, at 6. Well, actually, at
I thought we
5.
killed that rooster. I thought we killed that rooster.
The rooster's dead, but now you hear goats outside.
Oh, okay.
And there's, and a
No, that's
very
sheep, damn it.
off-key gnome singing to her goats.
Just when you thought it was safe to sleep in. Oh.
You hear, Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E. And you just hear that for, like, every single barn animal she can name.
Well, I was about to say, is it all just goats?
Nah, it's mostly hooved at creatures.
She knows what she likes.
Yeah. And then she names each goat separately.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Nada has prepared breakfast for all of you. She's even packed some of her special rations on the side to prepare you guys for heading out whenever you guys choose to. Alexandria is there, eating some toast, looking at a book.
As she does.
Yep. This time she doesn't even cover her arm. It's just, that blackened hand, and she every so often she looks at it, and then she puts her hand in her pouch and she sprinkles something on it. Sometimes you see a reaction like the skin on top turning white and then fading black to black. Other times you see like a boil, and then it lingers, and just testing out. And it's like, oh, morning. Sorry. Sometimes I do that. So you guys ready to head out? Soon?
Mm-hmm.
Ish?
I think
I
so.
believe so.
All right.
Certainly ready.
I think we wanted to purchase a couple of those healing potions that you have available.
Ah, good. I have, and she looks at the list. I have 6 regular. I can let go for minus the labor. 40 gold pieces each.
What if we bought all of them? Still 40 gold pieces each?
Yeah, I'm already selling to you at wholesale. I can't I'd be taking a loss at this point. They're pretty much even. It is very humid here. Lynn, stop it. I am very hot myself.
Well, I believe 240 gold pieces. We should have enough of the party funds, right?
Yeah, 240. I'm sure that we do.
Yeah, we have 240.
Then I believe we shall take them all then.
All right, sounds good.
We'll just distribute that.
Okay.
I have 3 already, so you guys distribute that amongst yourselves however you see fit.
Yeah, I already got 3, and that's greater.
I'll take at least 1. And which kind of healing potion was this?
These are
They're
regular.
regular.
What does a regular do?
2d8. I mean 2d4. 2d4. Sorry.
2d4 plus 2.
Plus 2. Okay.
Yeah, I'll take 1.
Well, since me and Raine don't need any, you could Tilda, Bryn, and Nenrine can take 2 each. So as well.
I'll take it.
Okay.
And then we'll all have a surplus of regular healing potions. So we should be fine.
Also, did I give I gave Raine the brooch of cure wounds, right?
Yeah, it's got 2 charges.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. And then did I give anyone else the other one?
No.
You had another what?
I made 2. I think. Let me check my messages. It doesn't matter. Keep
What was it?
going.
Cure wounds?
Mm-hmm.
I have the spell Cure Wounds, so I'm fine.
I have it, but I figured that there are those of us that don't. I thought I made 2, but I'm gonna check.
I have recently gotten Cure Wounds, but
Okay.
Yeah.
I do have the Wand of Cure Wounds.
I mean, giving the
I can have cure wounds
non-spellcasters.
when I feel like it. Which is not today. It's all healing word for you guys.
Mm.
I got mass healing word prep too, though.
Yeah, we can work with it.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, I have another brooch of cure wounds. I'll probably keep it on me unless anyone else feels like they could use it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Everyone else has healing other than Raine, right?
Innate
Yeah.
healing, right?
Yeah, I'll
We
keep it
can
on
hold
me.
on to it if we ever get someone who's accompanying us briefly who doesn't have it.
Oh yeah, good for an NPC.
It recharges, so and it doesn't require attunement. So
Yeah, so if we get some rando tagging along for like a day or 2, we can just give it to them.
Wait, I thought I'd been told it didn't recharge.
no, it does recharge.
Oh, well, that's good.
It has 2 charges and it recharges. Oh no, it's a mundane. I'm sorry, it's 2 charges and then mundane. But it does have 2 charges, and I can make another one in a few days. Like I think it was 6 days to make that.
Yeah, that would probably be why you have 2 then.
That's why I have 2. Cool.
That would be hilarious if every NPC who ever joined us, we just go like, okay, and we just put we put like a little pin on them, and it's
Basket.
and we just straighten it. It's like, okay, this will make sure you don't die.
What I need
So
to
we don't have to
find
use our own spell slots.
Yeah, so
What I
we
need to
it's like,
find
so
is
we
one of
don't
those
waste spell
ones-
slots on you.
that cast Spare the Dying on you when you die. There's a one in the Dungeon Master's Guide that does that. That's what I need.
Well, you've got 2 people now who know Spare the Dying.
Oh, you guys actually know Spare the Dying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
And it's a cantrip, so...
Yeah. Just pop it off all the time.
Bang, bang, bang.
I'm not dead.
But
They're
you can't
not
cast it on
dead!
yourself, so
No, I can't, but that's why we have someone else who knows it.
good point.
Yep. That's exactly why I took it, I'm not gonna lie.
I rolled really well in like 2 areas and not so great in everywhere else, so that I have a lot of +0s. Constitution just happened to get one of those +0s.
It's not an important thing to have.
I don't need to be strong. I'm a nerd. I spent 80 years inside a library. I've seen the sun like 4 times.
And now you're just getting so much sun.
Too much.
Okay. So, Alexandria said, so I probably forgot to tell you this.
Oh dear.
Yeah. No, it's good news. It's good news. You're actually going to be pretty safe when you travel because there's a caravan in town and they're headed up north. So, safety in numbers is going to be pretty good for you guys.
Zaitari kind of just puts her head in her hand.
It's
I
the
swear to God.
Nagodi.
Is that the one?
No, that's not the one.
Okay, thank God.
They're actually at odds with the Shigzori.
Zaitari just like lets out a sigh. Oh, thank God.
So Alexandria explains that, there are 3 caravans around Robur that travel. They're pretty much moving villages. They have a trade route they follow. The Nagodi is actually one of the wealthier caravans. They decided to stop and resupply in Fort Granite, and now they're headed back up north. So they're heading back today. They'll be leaving in a few hours, and she's arranged that you guys would travel with them as extra protection. Because it is Boulette mating season.
Oh, lovely.
Oh.
Land sharks.
Literally.
Yep, so she's like, it's better if you travel with them. In case you guys attack, the attack will be thwarted very quickly. Yes?
How long will it take to get to where we're going?
3 days. You'll probably separate from them 2 days into travel to go towards Tamaran.
Okay.
The Nagodi caravan, she explains, is about 200 people, 17 wagons, 33 Silonars, and she explains there are a larger pack animal called drybacks that carry their supplies. So you'll be pretty good. Their caravan leader is named Deg. She's a female. About female human, average height. But you guys should be pretty safe. There has been one caravan attack in the last few weeks, but that was a purple worm, and that was with the Esrivas caravan. But they travel more south, so.
That's
they
not
weren't
worrying at all.
Wiped out by the purple worm?
No, the caravan, once they sense there's a large creature coming from beneath the ground, they'll form a circle and they'll just pelt the creature that's coming up in the middle with arrows. That's usually their strategy.
Interesting.
With a small troop to engage it from the ground to keep it distracted long enough. The Erebus caravan only lost 1 wagon in the last attack, as opposed to if you were trying to outrun a purple worm, more than 1 wagon. But
Well,
you guys should be fine. It's the safest way to travel in the desert.
Wonderful.
Okay.
And there's no risk of us encountering any of the other caravans while we're traveling with this one.
Right?
Right.
The Nagodi and the Shigzori are rivals. The Nagodi are considered sellouts because they stop at Fort Granite so often. So you're probably not gonna make nice with any of the caravans. They're most likely going to try to avoid each other.
Okay, so they don't try to like attack each other or like do raids or anything like that. Like there's zero risk that we're going to encounter the other caravans, right?
There's virtually there's a very low risk. The caravans don't try to engage one another. They like to keep their separate ways,
Though
especially.
it would be a fun encounter, wouldn't it? I'm
No,
sure no
absolutely not.
There's no chance of maybe meeting in the desert, so the DM could use that desert map she already has. Because, I mean, as a person who makes adventures, I'm sure that that's not something she wants to do. So don't worry, there's definitely no chance.
No
Well, I suppose if you think the chance is going to be very little, then I'll just have to believe you.
You have a hat of disguise. What does it matter if we see that other caravan?
No reason. No reason.
I mean, it doesn't take an insight check, darling, to realize that you're bothered by this.
Oh no. Yeah, she's not hiding it.
Did the other caravan...
Listen, we
know.
don't have to talk about it unless we encounter the other caravan, so let's not worry about it until we never encounter them. So.
No, dear. Let's bare our entire souls and backstories. Don't you think?
No. Not today.
Tomorrow, then. Knowing tomorrow.
While you guys are talking, Alexandria has been lighting her hand on her black hand on fire, and it's not and her hand's not twitching.
Sure.
You know, as you do.
As you do.
She's just
She's just casually like holding a lighter underneath her hand, like
Free bird.
It's a candle.
She's just like so bored by this conversation.
exactly.
Oh my god.
Like, I don't give a damn about your reputation.
And you see, while you guys are talking, what's everybody's passive perception?
20.
All right.
My passive perception is... 19.
13.
14.
Okay. While you guys are talking, you look down and you realize half the food that was on the table, not from your plates or anything, is gone.
Deacon?
Yep.
Yeah? Oops. And from under the table, this
You are one mischievous miscreant.
It's for the orphanage.
You could ask, buddy.
You looked so busy. I'm sorry.
Make sure that food gets to the orphanage. I don't want to hear about any of it being in your stomach.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, just throwing this out there, what would happen if the orphanage had a patron? And then I tilt my head toward Alexandria while looking at Tilda like, wink.
That would be rather,
A
beneficial,
good
I
thing,
imagine.
making them very much more legitimate and respected, I'm sure.
It would indeed.
Without looking up, Alexandria says, "Deacon, do me a favor." And Deacon's like, "Deacon? Deacon, favor?" Tell my brother you'll stop playing the bagpipes if he donates a large sum of money to the orphanage. Let's say 500 gold. Deacon, his eyes widen, and he closes the bag of food he's put into a burlap sack, salutes Alexandria, and starts walking out the door, grabbing his bagpipes that he set next to the door, and starts humming to himself.
Well, I was kind of thinking not to say that that's not a good thing, but if there were a noble who made it known that they were okay with the idea of an orphanage, it could possibly go over well. But that's something you could think about you personally.
No, I was going to have Angelo do it. If an alderman donates to an orphanage, then it'll probably be a little more high profile than if I do.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I mean, he is... God... Oh, God, he does run part of the city. God. Why did I ever let him? Because I'm better in the shadows. Okay. It's okay, we're probably about to end anyways. It's 11 o'clock. I'm very sweaty. It's...
Oh man, you guys.
It's hot.
It is! It's humid!
So, like, neither of you have AC?
Well, if I turn on the AC, it goes into my mic.
Oh.
I've got the window fan going, pulling in the cool air from outside, and it's just like I am just on the hot side of comfortable. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I know
it's
exactly what you
just
mean.
enough to be kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Besides, you guys are going on a caravan to a temple, so...
Woo.
Definitely not going to encounter the other caravan. Right?
We've been told that.
That's
We
what
have
we've been
been told.
assured.
They wouldn't lie to us.
No. Alexandria would never lie to us.
I mean, to Alexandria's knowledge, we will most likely not run into this other caravan.
Before we leave, I am going to... I sent you a message for the letter I'll send before we leave.
Okay. I'll take a look at that once we're all set.
It's just a random thing. But I wanted to make sure I sent it before we left, in case we die terribly.
Nice.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, Zaitari also has a letter to send that she's gonna send out before she leaves as well.
Dear Tegan.
Yep.
If I die... No.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright.
I want
If
you
I
to
die,
know.
tell no one.
I want you to know that I loved you the most.
Ketchup, don't try to go into the box you obviously can't go in. It's half your size.
If I fits, I sits!
It's like, it's not... He can't even put his head in it. He's looking at it like...
That doesn't mean he doesn't fit.
Yeah.
He definitely does not
Means
fit.
literally nothing.
You are a fat cat. You won't fit. Don't do the challenge accepted face. Alright. Alright, I'll see you guys in... So next 2 weeks is the 29th. I think I'm available. Should be available.
Yep, 29th.
Yep.
Yep, that is correct.
Yay. Out of curiosity... Hold on. I'm gonna stop this because this is just non-D&D